pleasant good afternoon. A Thursday edition of Georgetown Eagle Baseball live this afternoon back in Bryan, Texas at Nutrabolt Stadium. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Joshua Harris, and this is another edition of Georgetown Playoff Baseball here on the SHNSports.com broadcast network, as well as for our radio listeners back at home on 106.7 FM, KGTN LP Georgetown, the regional semifinal playoff. Again, welcome into the broadcast booth here at Nutrabolt Stadium, also known as Travis Park. This is where the Brazos Valley Bombers play. Before we get started, wanted to give a shout-out as well to Coach Brian Nelson. He's the head coach here for the Brazos Valley Bombers. We appreciate Coach Nelson and their accessibility here for the last 2 weeks now, as well as Jake Nash, his first year coaching here. He played in this league at one point. We appreciate him as well. Cole Winkler up in the booth as well. So wanted to make sure that we give those guys the shout-out. But tonight, friends, it is Georgetown Eagle baseball. This is a big game, of course, as all of them are here in the playoffs. Joshua, we've got a great game lined up here as the Eagles look to continue their winning ways, but it's going to be tough against a very tough and capable Kingwood Park team who, as many know, just won that series. We'll talk about it more versus Santa Fe. So our thoughts and prayers continue with the kiddos there in Santa Fe, Texas.
Absolutely, and boy, it is a beautiful day for baseball, but we do just want to take one second and wish Santa Fe High School blessings and healing and strength. And boy, I tell you what, they have had a tough couple of weeks, but our thoughts and prayers are with all of the families and those who are just kind of healing right now. But Georgetown baseball tonight, I've been looking forward to it. I don't know about you, I've had a busy week, but boy, this has been knowing that we were going to, we didn't know right away where we were going to be coming back here, but knowing that we were going to play another series and the Eagles were still in it, it's just had me excited all week. And I just want to say thank you, Rob, once again for the opportunity to be up here with you and share this experience and learn and grow. And man, thanks for all that you do and all that you're teaching me to be a part of this great weekend of baseball.
Hey, well, appreciate you having you up here as well, Joshua. For the radio listeners out there, pardon me, I'm a little bit under the weather, but got my voice back. I said a prayer, said let me get through a couple of games here. So this is a 3-game series, the best of 2, so best of 3. Whoever wins 2 will move on. Before we really dig into this, I did have a moment to catch up with Georgetown's Luke Seaback's grandfather, and I did want to make sure that we play that interview to hear a perspective, not to single out any individual player here on this Georgetown team, but just to give a perspective from one of the grandparents here of the Georgetown Eagle players. We'll go ahead and play that interview right now. Rob Hipp here pregame with the grandfather of Luke Seaback, Mr. Bill Ferguson. Bill, you guys drive all the way in from Nacogdoches to come and watch this series. Talk about how much this Georgetown Eagle baseball team has meant to y'all. I know, of course, Luke, your grandson, but talk more about Luke and the team and what it's been so far for you guys this year as fans.
Well, the whole program's important, primarily because of, I think, Coach Foster and what he has instilled in these guys other than baseball. I love baseball, but more than that has been the example and that he has set and the standard that he has set for these guys. And he's got a good group and a good program, and we're proud that Luke is part of it.
Awesome. Well, not to single out anybody, but you are Luke's grandfather, so tell us a little bit about how proud you are of Luke and what he's done on this team. He had a big play in the last series. Talk to us about how much you enjoy being his grandpa.
Well, we can't help but be pretty partial, but we're crazy about watching Luke play ball and enjoy his success very much.
Awesome. Well, Bill Ferguson, the grandfather of Luke Seaback, giving us this. Well, once again, we appreciate that interview there with Bill Ferguson, the grandfather of Luke Seaback, just to kind of give you a little behind the scenes of everything here. We also, as we do every game, we like to check in with a good friend of ours. We'll have him on the phone here in just a few moments. But again, we'd like to talk every game that we possibly can with Matt Leishman because, Joshua, let's be honest, every game that Matt Leishman has called in from Arizona, Georgetown has won. So we definitely don't want to lose that jinx of having Matt out there, man.
Yeah, I asked you just a little bit ago as we were kind of setting up the evening, and I said, hey, when is he calling? When are you going to talk to him? Because We've got to have that. What do they say? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And he's been a big part of just being so encouraging and giving such great insight. So absolutely looking forward to his call with you and hearing what he's got to say for tonight.
Well, with that being said, we will welcome Matt Leishman into the broadcast booth here by telephone from Arizona. Matt, good to hear from you. And once again, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule there in Arizona to call in on pregame, brother.
Hey, Rob and Josh, wouldn't miss it for the world, guys. As we move into round 4 of the playoffs, things just seem to get tougher and tougher in Region 3, guys. Looking at Kingwood Park, kind of digging into the numbers on this team, you kind of think you beat Magnolia, who was number 3 in the coaches poll. You kind of, human nature would say this might be an easier matchup, but goodness, Kingwood Park 28-10 according to Max Preps with a 17-game winning streak. Their last loss, guys, nearly 2 months ago on March 27th, finished second in that talented 21-5A, which the district champion is Barbers Hill, who's still alive at the bottom half of this bracket. So, Kingwood Park is going to be a tough challenge for Georgetown, but we know that the Eagles are ready at this point. They're deep into the playoffs as we thought they would be, and I think they have their eyes focused on Round Rock.
Well, Matt, you brought up a good point. You talk about a Kingwood Park team that just came off of that very emotional series with Santa Fe. As we said at the beginning of the broadcast, of course, our heartfelt prayers go out to that community there. But Kingwood Park did advance. That's how we ended up here today at Bryan, Texas for this regional semifinal round. But, Matt, you talk about a Kingwood Park team coming in on a 17-game winning streak. Matt, this stat stands out more than any stat that I've seen here in postseason play that a team that Georgetown has had to face. 15 of those 17 wins, Kingwood Park has only allowed no more than 1 run in 15 of those 17 games.
Well, Rob, and I looked at it a little closer, and you're right. They hit 278 as a team. They've got several players over 300. Chase Barham, he pitches and he hits. He hits 340, 6 homers, 32 RBIs. He's also 5-2 on the mound with a 2.01 ERA. Other guys you got to look at in this lineup, Ryan Long, his 26 RBIs. Clay Soul, 304, 5 homers, 30 RBIs. So those are the 3 guys I'm looking at mostly. Then you got the athlete Bryson Jackson, who's going to play wide receiver at TCU. So up and down that lineup, it's tough. And, Grayson and Wes going to have to look out for that. And then when you look at their presence on the mound, a sophomore, Jackson Rodriguez, is their ace, 9-2, 171 ERA, 79 strikeouts in 65 innings. I mean, you don't see those kind of numbers normally from a 10th grader, guys. And it's going to be a challenge, but I know Georgetown's up to it. And, when you have a 2.87 team ERA in high school, that is impressive.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, as always, thanks for your insight. Any final remarks here that you would like to say to the Georgetown community, man? We always appreciate you, so I'll let you have one last final word with Georgetown here before we let you go, partner.
No, just happy that social media allows us to stay interactive and keeping track of what's going on with Georgetown from here. You guys know I'm listening to all that I can. I haven't listened to every single minute of the postseason, but I'm doing all I can. And just big props to Eagle Nation for showing up huge, even on a weekday, that Magnolia game on a weekday afternoon. The crowd at that game, I got to help Georgetown get past that Magnolia team. And props to the defense there at the end for making that huge play that really kind of saved the season, guys. And I'll be listening tonight, and I'll be listening to this and the Rockets-Warriors game, so you guys have a good one.
Awesome. Well, Matt, we appreciate you, partner. Again, thanks for always calling in, and hopefully we'll have you call in again tomorrow, Matt.
Absolutely, Matt. Thank you so much.
Well, once again, that was Matt Leishman calling in from Arizona. We appreciate Matt as we continue the pregame here. Georgetown Eagle Baseball, of course, presented by our good friend Cameron Davies with Cruising Kitchens. Joshua, as we continue the pregame here, I did want to dig into some of the notes that I had. But before we get started, something else that's very heartfelt to the Georgetown community. Here in just a few moments, we're going to step aside for a moment of silence to honor Jace Tristan, who passed away on Tuesday. This young man was a member of the Georgetown High School Criminal Justice Club, the NJROTC and the GHS FAA. We're going to stand aside for about 10 seconds here to honor the life and legacy as a moment of silence here for Georgetown High School student Jace Tristan. Well, welcome back into the broadcast booth here at Nutrabolt Stadium. Feels like deja vu as we were here last week when Georgetown had a great series against the Magnolia Bulldogs. Tonight, Georgetown, the designated home team. Kingwood Park Panthers in the house, 28-10, 14-3 in their District 21-5A. This is a 10-team district from the Houston, Texas area. They finished second to Barbers Hill. Barbers Hill in that district 15-2. As we go back and look at some of the previous years for Kingwood Park, in 2017, 13-4. They lost a ball in the area round. 2016, they go 12-4. They lost to Barbers Hill in the regional quarterfinal, the third round. And then in 2015, 13-3, they lost to Tomball in the regional semifinal. Josh wanted to point out that is the farthest that this team has ever made it here. And so tonight they're wanting to do some damage. We'll send it over for the national anthem, and then we'll be right back. Beautiful playing of our country's national anthem. Time now 6:57 p.m. as we quickly finish up here. The last series, the regional quarterfinal, of course, for Kingwood Park versus Santa Fe. They won game 1 4-0. They won game 2 7-0. In the first round versus Vider, that in 2 games, 2-0, 5-4, respectively. The second round versus Milby, 2 games, 3-1, 4-0. They have not yet lost in the playoffs. Georgetown would like to tarnish that here this afternoon. And as I told Matt a while ago, Joshua, a 17-game winning streak here for Kingwood Park. In 15 of those 17 wins, they've allowed no more than one run. That one run was versus Vider. That is unbelievable. Yeah, I tell you what, that is very impressive. And the Panthers, like you said, are going to want to continue on those winning ways, and also very hungry to continue to move forward in this in these playoffs, and not getting past this ever. They would love to break that, not so much of a curse, but Georgetown, you know, as we've watched them over these last weeks, there's no quit in them. And when we say Eagle Fight never dies, that is absolutely the way this team plays. And so I tell you what, I know the records look great and so forth, but I think we're in for a great ball game. And you know, I have just so much confidence in the way that these Eagles players play this game, play together, have incredible coaching, and so hey, play ball and let's see the best team at the end of each game. But it's going to be an exciting time for sure. Well, Joshua, the Georgetown Eagles, of course, the designated home team here at Nutrabolt Stadium in Bryan, Texas, where, by the way, a very humid night here, as we are under 89 degrees, just painted under a few clouds here. A little heavy clouds out as we look over on the horizon, but nothing here in the immediate area. That humidity, though, at 52%. The wind southeast at 8 miles per hour. There is a 20% chance of storms and then partly cloudy, but I seriously doubt we're going to see any type of precipitation falling out of those clouds. Tonight, the low 71. As we talk about Georgetown, though, a team that's 31, 8-1 overall, 16-0 in 19-5A, coached by Adam Foster. Tonight, Georgetown in their white jerseys and the white pants with the blue print stripe. For the Kingwood Park Panthers in black jerseys, black pants with the sleeves in green and white trim. And We're getting started right here at 7 p.m. straight up. On the mound for Georgetown is Grayson Smith, the right-handed pitcher. And behind there at bat, leading off the second baseman, number 3, Matthew Burke. And he'll swing at the first strike here, 0-1 to start things. That's a great starting pitch for Grayson Smith. The next pitch by Smith on the way. This one too far to the outside. The early count, 1-1.
Yeah, like you said, Grayson Smith really wants to get a good start tonight and really find his control and speed early.
Third pitch, this one's going to be hit right up the middle for a base hit. So the leadoff hit for Matthew Burke in the Kingwood Park will be resting at first base. Grayson Smith there want to take that one back. That'll bring up second in the order, the center fielder, number 1, Bryson Jackson. We do have stats on these players. Time is called here as Wyatt Childress is going to talk things over early with Grayson Smith. As we look at Bryson Jackson, 37 games played now. If you include this one, he averages 277, 31 runs. He's got 33 hits, 20 RBIs. He has had 7 doubles on the season and 1 home run. So this is a young man that's capable of putting him out of the park here. The corner's at 325, center field at 400, Joshua, as those flags are starting to whip a little bit out there.
A little bit. I've been watching them pretty much laying flat for the most part, but it is starting to kick up just a little bit, and so we'll kind of watch that. But at this time, pretty stale out here and a good ballpark.
Again, top of the first, we are no outs. Base runner on 1 for Kingwood Park. On the mound, Grayson Smith for Georgetown. The right-handed pitch looking to place the bunt, and Smith is going to throw an error there, and that will advance the runner at third. He is going to come around and score. And diving to third base in Kingwood Park on the error by Grayson Smith, Burke will score. And Bryson Jackson, who placed that bunt, will go all the way to third. We'll call that an E1 to start things here. Not the way Georgetown wants to roll early.
No, you're right. Not the way we wanted to start. And, boy, that ball just got away from Smith as he was – picked up the bunt and threw it down to first. Couldn't get the guy at second and just threw it out of the reach of the first baseman. So that's that's definitely an error that we need to get control of.
So Kingwood Park out of the gates early here on an error lead, 1-0. Base runner on third will bring up third in the order, the first baseman, number 10, Clay Shell. The early pitch to Clay too far outside for a ball, 1-0. Clay Shell, his 39th game, averages 304 in. Coach Dusty Brinley makes his way to the mound to talk things over early here in this one. As we look more at the stats of Clay Sowell, he leads the team in doubles with 12 of those. He's got 34 hits, 30 RBIs. This is a young man. You talk about the starting lineup here in the top 4 or 5 for Kingwood Park. These guys know how to hit some balls, Joshua.
You better believe it. And I know the coach went out and said, listen, settle down, just get composed, and just pitch the ball. We've got to get this thing under control for sure.
Grayson Smith, 58 innings pitched coming into this ball game. He's got an ERA of 2.41. With that right foot to the right of the rubber, kicks up the left, the right-handed delivery, and now a hit by pitch. Now runners on the corners. Grayson Smith cannot find his composure early here as the first 3 batters. This has not been a good start for a Georgetown team that traditionally starts in an exceptional manner.
Yeah, we are a little bit rattled right now, and but Smith knows how to settle it down, get his pitches going, and it is a little humid out here like we talked about 80%. So, hands are a little sweatier, but plus the adrenaline's going. So we just got to get settled in here.
Runners on the corner at 1 and 3. Kingwood Park leads with no outs here in the top of the first. That'll bring up the catcher, number 5, Chase Ferrum, and the first pitch to Ferrum as he looks at it for a strike. We talk about Chase Ferrum, a senior for these Kingwood Park Panthers in his 39th game. He leads the team in RBIs with 32 as well as home runs with 6. Boy, this would be a time for Kingwood Park and Chase to knock it out of the park here.
Yeah, we got to watch this number 5 here. He can definitely get a good bat on it. So we want to pitch him careful here.
0-1 the count here on Ferrum. Runners on the corners again at first and third as Grayson Smith looks over to Cole Moore. A pick. The umpire out there at first base is John Wilson. Behind home plate tonight as the umpire, Richard Brenniger. Third base is Gus Lalo. And then out there at second base is Kenny Smith. We talked about that earlier. Speak of the Rockets, man.
Yeah, Kenny Smith.
Back-to-back pickoff attempts here by Grayson Smith. 0-1 the count. Only one pitch has been thrown to Chase Ferrum. Again, those runners on first and third for Kingwood Park. Grayson Smith with the left foot out in front, the right foot to the right of the rubber. The pitch on the way. This one hit hard out to center field, and that one will drop in front of the fence. And that'll bring in another run, possibly two. No, that will just bring in one. So runners will advance to 2 and 3 now. As Clay Sowell will head over to third. Chase Ferrum with the stand-up double.
Yeah, just like you talked about with those stats, Ferrum can definitely hit that baseball, and boy, he definitely got all of that one and just dropped it right over the center fielder's head. And here we go with a 2-0 lead for the Panthers right out of the gate. We've got to stay composed here and not get nervous.
Well, this will bring up in the cleanup, I beg your pardon, actually in the fifth position, the shortstop Ryan Long, number 25, a right-handed batter. Runners now at 2 and 3 for Kingwood Park. They lead 2-0 early. No outs here in the top of the first. This pitch got a little bit away from Grayson as he threw it too far to the outside for the ball. Wyatt Childress able to get behind it. The count 1-0.
You know, Childress is already having to show his skills behind the plate here.
Kicks up the delivery. This one hit foul off the first base side. Boy, the Kingwood Park fans were about to get on their feet, because if that would have hugged that first base line, we would have seen two more come in and possibly another double.
Yeah, these Panthers have definitely come up to hit and bat this ball around. They are swinging away.
1-1 the count here for Georgetown defense. Grayson Smith on the mound. The pitch on the way. This one tried to curve back inside. Too far to the outside it goes, though, and the count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, base runners in scoring position on 2 and 3 for the Panthers of Kingwood Park. No outs here in the top of the first. Grayson Smith, the delivery. This one hit foul. Off the bat, into the back of the net, 2 and 2 to even things up. Ryan Long, a senior right-handed hitter, averages .349, so not a bad number for this young man as well.
Not at all. That is a really good batting average.
2-2 the count. The right-handed pitch. This one hit foul again off that first base line. And the count remains even at 2 apiece.
I'll tell you what, for a right-handed batter, he sure is hugging that right field line like a left-handed batter. So we've got to be careful here with the man on second and third.
2-2 the count here. Georgetown trying to work their way out of a tough situation. Down 2-0. The pitch, this one again smacked right into the Kingwood Park dugout. Boy, that went right towards some of those athletes, smack in the middle.
I mean, that wasn't even, that was straight into the dugout there. Well, I'm glad, looks like everybody got out of the way, but that could have caused some damage.
Grayson Smith for Georgetown on the 2-2 delivery. Boy, Georgetown fans wanted a strike looking, and they didn't get it, and now it's a full count at 3-2.
Yeah, that looked like a good pitch there.
The payoff pitch on 3-2. Off the right hand, this one is going to hit over to the third baseman, Jeffrey David, and he'll throw to first for a nice little 5-3 out, and that does not allow runners to advance because it was hit over to third base. So Ryan Long on the payoff pitch will be out on the 5-3. That'll bring up 6 in the order, the right fielder, number 17, Tommy Ivy.
Yeah, it's good to get an out on the board there now and hold that runner there at third. So start to build this confidence up a little bit.
Pitch on the way to Ivy, too far to the outside. The early count, 1 ball, no strikes here. Again, 1-0 the count. Top of the first, 1 out. Kingwood Park leads 2-0 with base runners on 2 and 3. We'll go over that defensive set for Georgetown in just a few moments. This pitch drops in for a strike, 1-1.
Good pitch there by Smith.
Of course, Grayson Smith on the mound. Wyatt Childress catching behind home plate. Cole Moore at first. Luke Seaback at second. Jeffrey David at third. Cole Posey the shortstop. And then from left to right, Hunter Savarese, Ryan Neitch, and Noah Thompson. Grayson Smith with 1 out. Now time is called by the batter, Ivy, who's in a 1-1 count. As we look at Ivy, a junior right-handed hitter, averages 273. This is his 18th game of the season, so not a lot of playing action here for Ivy. The next pitch, as he looked at it for a strike, brings the count now to 1-2. Joshua Grayson showing a little bit of why he is the Georgetown ace now.
Yeah, starting to settle in. Cutter's starting to look good. Fastball's coming in nice now, so I think he may have got those little bit of jitters off.
The 1-2 delivery. This one hit foul off of his ankles. The count remains at 1-2. Again, base runners on second and third for Kingwood Park. Only the top of the first we are. They lead 2-0 here with 1 out. Smith for Georgetown, the right-handed pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the strikeout.
Great cutter there. Just got it in there and got him to swing. And now I think Smith's really starting to settle in there now. And 2 outs on the board. Let's get out of this inning.
Well, this is a Georgetown team who has played in a lot of 3-game series here in the playoffs. Matt King, the third baseman, 7th in the order, now up to bat. The first pitch on the way to King is going to be a strike, 0-1.
Good first pitch there for Smith.
On the way to the right-handed batters. That one tipped foul off the bat. The count 0-2 as that one goes right at his feet here on Matt King. We look at Matt King, and unfortunately the stats we have for King don't add up with his name, so we're not even going to go over those. The 16 we have is Bout Out, the sophomore.
Interesting.
So unfortunately for King, sorry young man, didn't have your stats. 0-2 the count here for Georgetown. Grayson Smith trying to get the third batter retired in a row and end this inning. Swing and a miss, got him.
There we go.
Grayson Smith, after struggling through the first 5 batters, coming alive here, striking out 2, and then the 5-3 ground out. Georgetown escapes, but they trail 2-0 in this inning. 2 runs, those 2 runs coming on 2 hits. There was 1 error, 2 left on base. Joshua, I'll send it over to you as we give thanks to a lot of our wonderful sponsors for making this possible.
Boy, I tell you what, thank you so much to everyone who came on board to support this next series. Of course, our presenting sponsor is Cruising Kitchens. Cameron Davies doing a great job with Cruising Kitchens. Cruising Kitchen, of course, is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle Baseball. Cruising Kitchen is a custom mobile business fabricator. Their builds range from the world's largest mobile kitchen to full entertainment trailers that include jumbotrons. Cruising Kitchens can be found at cruisingkitchens.com. Also, I'm proud to come alongside and all of us at Oak Ridge to come alongside Georgetown Baseball. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a nonprofit, faith-based Christian character building ministry geared towards reaching men that are 18 and older who are broken from substance abuse. You can find us at www.oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Also coming on board this week to start this series is Texas Traditions Roofing. Wes Strawn and Mike Pickle over there. Texas Traditions Roofing is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle Baseball, commercial and residential roofing repair and replacement. Texas Traditions Roofing is online at texastraditionsroofing.com. Also, Matt Morrow says, hey, I want to be a part of this next series. Gateway Mortgage Group. proudly supporting Eagle baseball. Home mortgage lender who believes and is all about communities, families, and homes. Gateway Mortgage Group is online at borrowfrommorrow.com, and we'll get to the rest of these here in just a little bit.
We appreciate all the folks that make these broadcasts possible. Leading off for Georgetown will be Cole Posey. He hits one foul at the last moment. A little bit of wind carried it over there off the first base line, deep actually near the corner. The early count here for Cole Posey, 0-1.
Yeah, those flags blowing over to that way now, so we got a little bit of mixture here. Flags not really knowing what they're wanting to do yet, so I carried that over.
Second pitch on the way. That one called a ball, 1-1 here for Cole Posey. Jackson Rodriguez, the sophomore, on the mound. And boy, his time in between pitches for that lefty is very quick as Cole Posey clips one off the third baseline. The count goes to 1-2. Joshua, we look at the stats here for the sophomore Rodriguez. A 1.71 ERA. He's 9-2. That's just over 80% win percentage. This young man is phenomenal. Copo hits this one out to right field. Chasing it down is Tommy Ivy in the sunshine for the first out on the fly over to right field.
Yeah, you're right. Watching 24 up on that mound, he's definitely, once that batter sets in, he is on its way. And so you're not going to get a lot of time with him. You're going to have to be ready.
That'll bring up the catcher, number 20, Wyatt Childress for the Georgetown Eagles. Georgetown and Wyatt Childress, he has had a phenomenal season here for the Eagles in his 35th game now. 82 at-bats. He averages 280, but he can run and still. But this one, as he looks at a pitch for a strike, 0-1 the early count here on Childress. Had a moment to catch up with Wyatt Childress's family on several occasions. Wonderful folks. We always appreciate the Childress family. 0-1 delivery here from the left hand to the right-handed batter, too far outside, and the count now at 1-1. Sunshine all over the outfield here at Nutrabolt Stadium. The infield starting to get some shadows upon it. This one is going to chop foul over to Coach Foster at third base, and the count at 1-2 for Wyatt Childress.
Yeah, got a lot of shadowing right now, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays as we watch the sun go down over this beautiful ballpark.
Rodriguez with a sun in his eyes on the mound, and we didn't talk about that. Maybe that threw off Georgetown's pitching earlier. This pitch going to be too far outside to even the count at 2-2. You talk about the sun, it's right in the eyes of the pitcher this time of day here in Bryan, Texas.
Yes, and it definitely looked like it might have kind of got Smith started off a little bit rough, but boy, he pulled it together, made the adjustments, and really pitched well that second half of that first inning there.
Time is called as Childress steps out of the right-handed batter's box. Again, thanks for joining us here on SHN Sports. Also on the radio back at home on 106.7 FM KGTN-LP Georgetown. The 2-2 left-handed delivery. Too far. And that one called a ball, and the fans of Kingwood Park saying, wait a minute, that looked like a strike. Richard Brenniger, the umpire behind home plate, those guys, I told him before the game, I said, I admire and respect what you guys do.
Yes, absolutely.
The payoff pitch too far inside, and Childress heads over to first.
Yeah, these umpires, UIL umpires, and everyone part of UIL, they do such a great job. It's not an easy job to be behind that plate, and so we're just very thankful for all the umpires out here tonight.
Well, you've already got your tying run at home plate now. Childress just reached on a base on balls to first for Georgetown, and now the power hitter for Georgetown, number 23, Gomor. Gomor, his 41st game, averaging .393.
Yes, he can definitely put a good bat on that ball, and be interesting to see here if he can get old Childress around. And Childress can definitely run too, so let's see what Coach decides to do with this man at first base.
The left-handed pitch to the left-handed batter goes too far outside for an early ball here on Colmore. 1-0 Well, we've seen Colmore lace quite a few of them out of the ballparks this season. If he does it here, Georgetown ties things up. Here in the bottom of the first, a pick attempt as Rodriguez throws over to his first baseman, Clay Sowell. Childress is safe out there at first. John Wilson, the umpire, out there at first base. We appreciate him. And Again, Kenny Smith. We won't say Kenny the Jet Smith. That's
No,
reserved for Houston, baby.
Yes, sir.
Out there at second base. 1-0 count here. Cole Moore with the pitch on the way. Put some beef behind this one, but it may turn to Stroganoff. Nope, that's going to drop foul territory. Uncatchable. 1-1 the count here for Cole Moore.
Yeah, that left fielder sure was making a good break on it, but just too far out of his grasp.
I don't know if that meant anything when I just said. I thought of beef stroganoff because I took my grandma today for it.
I went with it, man, and you know what? It worked. Just leave it right there.
My grandma loved Nanny. If you're listening, I love you.
That's all it was. It was a shout out to Grandma,
That's
and there's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
My grandma celebrating. Today's not her birthday, but in October it will be. But 90 years young. Love you, Nanny, and enjoyed spending time with you today.
At 90 years old and the life that she's gotten to live, it's not a bad thing to say happy birthday to her every day.
That's right.
You know.
1-1 here. Childress leads off first. And the pitch on the way, too far to the outside. And now Cole Moore ahead in the count as the batter, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Cole Moore being real patient up there. And I love the way he approaches every at-bat and every swing. He just takes his time. He takes his breaths. And he's really just been well coached as a hitter.
Well, the clouds now covering the sun behind us. We may not see any more sunshine on this field. The lights turning on here at 7:21 p.m. in Bryan, Texas.
Yeah, shadow is just fading into the grass now. And this is a beautiful ballpark here.
Bottom of the first, we are 1 out. The count on Cole Moore for Georgetown, 2-1. Kingwood Park leads 2-0. Again, Childress on that first base. That is your tying run at home plate. Cole Moore would love to knock one out of this park.
It's a good day to do it and a good time to do it.
Jackson Rodriguez, the sophomore, the ace, pitch on the way. Cole Moore grounds this one. What a grab at first, tagged unassisted. The double play, though, is not going to make it, and Childress is going to take off to third, and he will get there in time as he dives, and the bases are moving again. We will give Cole Moore was tagged out there. The error happened, though, at second, which allowed Wyatt Childress to advance to third. Cole Moore is out, though, unassisted at first. Clay Sowell with a great grab out there, Joshua.
Absolutely, and I just got to say it again. We went through this last week, and maybe we can find out. It's such a beautiful ballpark. The one thing that I just have so much question about is why these bases move the way that they move when they slide into them. And it's a safety. I don't know, but I've just never seen bases move the way that this first, second, and third base moves. They move when they slide into them, and it's just it's different. That's for sure.
Yeah, and for our listeners, just to once again clarify, when we say the bases move, they literally move. We're not talking any type of little innuendo talk here. We're talking they physically move.
Yeah, Childress literally slid with that base, sliding into third. 2 or 3 feet, that base went with him, and so I've just never seen that before. And it's kind of comical, but then it also it's interesting to say the least.
So Cole Moore out on a 3U as Kingwood Park tried to go for the double play. Clay Sowell, an unassisted tag there to get Cole Moore out at first, but then he tried to throw it over to his second baseman, Ryan Long. That was an error on the first baseman. That throw was well out of his reach. And so Wyatt Childress able to reach to third on that E3. 2 outs we are. Georgetown's Wyatt Childress at third. And the tying run back at home plate, it'll be the center fielder in the 4th position, number 6, Ryan Goodnight. Ryan this season, as we look at his stats now in his 42nd game, this is a good time for Ryan to be at bat. He averages .354, slugs a .584. He's got 40 hits. He has singled 28 times, doubled 3 times. He's tripled 4 times. Boy, 3, 4, and 5, and he's got 5 home runs. So we'll just keep counting the stat sheet up over here, Joshua.
Absolutely, and Goodnights would love to show why he is in that 4th spot at .354 batting average and bring Childress home here.
Well, the cloud cover has graciously removed, allowing a little sun to pour back onto the field here. Ryan Knight's the right-handed batter looking for the bunt, pulls back on it. Childress is going to have to get back over to third, and he got there. And boy, that was a snag by Matt King at third. The catcher, Chase Ferrum, he almost threw that one out of the reach, and if that would have happened, that would have been a Childress run.
You betcha, boy. I tell you what, we wouldn't even have to had Goodnight even make any contact, bring that run in. But that third baseman just made an outstanding catch to keep that ball in the infield.
I believe it's one ball, as that one was bunt attempt. We didn't see the strike call, I don't believe, so we'll call it 1-0 for the time being. The pitch on the way, looking for the bunt again, and now this one goes foul to even it at 1-1. And get an eye from that umpire, Richard Brenniger, down there. He'll show us in a minute with the two fingers if it is a 1-1 count.
Yes.
1-1 the count. 2 outs, Georgetown. Base runner on third is Wyatt Childress. The pitch on the way. That one dropped in for a strike as he looked at it on the change. 1-2 here for Ryan Goodnight.
Rodriguez, as he's on the mound, has got a real basic kind of setup. He doesn't have a high leg kick. He's got one leg out pretty good and then just kind of just lifts a little bit and fires it in there.
This is a Kingwood Park team that went unranked, under the radar. Now the pitch here too low to even it at 2-2. If we look back on the series for Georgetown, the only time they were shut out in a loss here in the playoffs was that second game, 4-0 versus Magnolia in the previous round.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that was a little heart shocker there, but they didn't lose composure. They didn't get nervous, and they came back. And what a game 3 we got to experience last week.
2-2 pitch, this one over to left field. That's a base hit and a run scored, and that may be a stand-up double for Ryan Knight, and it is Ryan Goodnight as he brings in Wyatt Childress. Now we can say it, baby. The grill is starting to cook. Bring on the ribeyes.
Yes, and it's good to cut that lead in half now and have a man still on second. Goodnight with a great double, and it's a good second half of this inning as we're starting to come back a little bit and get our confidence going.
So Ryan Knight will stand up at second. That will bring up the third baseman, fifth in the order, number 7, Jeffrey David, the right-handed batter for Georgetown. Boy, this sounds kind of crazy, calling a game with a half-hoarse voice.
You know, boy, as sick as you were earlier this week and all the prayers we had going out for you, you sound good, Rob. No worries.
Well, a hit by pitch here will put Jeffrey David on first base. Again, this is the second out mentality of Georgetown. Joshua, we've seen this Georgetown Eagle team all season long. When they get to a 2-out situation, they start making things happen, and
yes,
that's what we're starting to see right now.
Yes, you're exactly right. We have definitely been a 2-out team. We haven't, gotten down on, we've got 2 outs, what are we going to do? They just keep playing baseball, and you're right. We seem to make things happen when there's 2 outs on the board and score some runs, and so that just shows you the strength and the fight of this Georgetown Eagle baseball team.
Jackson Siosin, a right-handed batter, now up for Georgetown in his 37th game, averages just shy of 300 at 294. The quarterback of the Georgetown football team this year, they're having their blue and white game today. Jackson, of course, would rather be here in the playoffs.
Yes, and he's going to have plenty of time on that football field, and it sure is going to be fun to watch this young man play this next football season at quarterback for the Georgetown Eagles.
Well, we're honored to have Galen Welnicki feeling better again. He's going to put together an article for us tonight that we'll share with everybody at SHN Sports on that blue and white scrimmage.
Galen, thank you so much for doing that, and I'm so glad you're feeling better and you're looking better and better, pictures I've seen. And so thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this and be up here with Rob as well.
So as that pitch goes away, trying to tag the runner, Jeffrey David, over at first, an error on the field, advances advances Ryan Knight over to third on the error. So now runners on the corners for Georgetown. And Jackson Siosin in a 1-0 count. So as we break it down here, in the bottom of this first inning, Georgetown trails 2-1, but they have runners on the corners now after 2 errors already in this inning for Kingwood Park.
Yeah, they're huddled up when talking to Rodriguez now for that Panther team, and same with Smith in that top of that first inning for us. They're getting him settled down, and this is a big game. Just like you said, this is getting closer and closer to that tournament, and so everybody's You know, everybody's a little hyped up, and you know, juices are flowing. So I think we're in for a really good baseball game tonight.
We'll get to some of the folks that are joining us on the SHN fan line here in a little bit on text messaging. We do have some messages coming through. We'll go over that number. I'll let you give that out in a little bit, Joshua.
Yes,
and,
sir.
we will definitely go out. We always love the fans that send us text messages and let us have those shout-outs. We really enjoy that.
Thanks for listening, and we're glad you're part of this tonight, even if you couldn't be here. But we do have a good Georgetown crowd out here.
Swing and a miss here on C. Osen as he tried to bite a little of the burger. 1-1 the count. Wanted to give a shout out to Mark and Renee Stinnett, the owners of 106.7 FM, bringing Georgetown Community Radio on the air. Always appreciate Renee. She just sent me a picture of the station, and they changed the text to say Georgetown Eagle Baseball, so that's pretty cool seeing that come across the RDS
Thank
there.
you so much for letting us be a part of your family there, and for all that you do for the community.
1-1 the count, runners on the corners. Georgetown trails 2-1 here in two-out territory. The sophomore Jackson Rodriguez, their ace, on the mound. A left-handed pitch to the right-handed, and now Georgetown's going to try their little trickeration. Can they bring the runner in at home? And they're still trying for it. They're going to probably get him out here. He's going to be trapped. And now a runner is going to try to get back over to second. He's going to get there. Wow! So an opportunity for Kingwood Park to tag out the runner there, Nitch, as he tried to steal home, and it ends up working out for Georgetown anyways, as Jeffrey David able to reach second. A little confusion there by Kingwood Park, and now both runners in scoring position. Wow, what a crazy play.
Yeah, I was excited to see how you were going to kind of describe that of what just happened, because we definitely should be out of this inning right now, and boy, it worked out great for the Georgetown Eagles. And that's what I've been talking about this whole playoff series, or during this whole playoffs. The Georgetown Eagle running game is absolutely awesome, and they're just coached so well at base running, and I love it.
Yeah, they try that play where they try to steal over to second to throw off the infield and allow that runner to come in and get that squeeze. And, you know, the play backfired on Kingwood Park. They should have had a tag. We should be talking top of the second right now. Instead, runners on 2 and 3. Now this one is going to hit fly into the middle. Bryson Jackson in the sunlight, though, able to haul it down there on a little fly 8 off the bat of Siosin to retire the batter. But not before Georgetown can bring in 1 run. They get that 1 run on 1 hit. There were 2 errors in this inning, and Georgetown unfortunately leaves 2 on base. Top of the second, we move. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, and play some of our UIL institutional spots as we appreciate the University Interscholastic League. We'll take a few minutes. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Georgetown Eagle Baseball continues.
We are the UIL.
From the coaches
To the players. To the educators.
we've been in your shoes.
Extracurricular activities are essential to the development of our youth.
From proposed rule changes
to the relaxation of transfer rules.
We keep it fair.
New academic contests. We hear you loud and clear.
New events are music to our ears.
We just added film. That's a wrap.
educational activities help young people become productive citizens.
From staph infections to steroid use.
To cardiac and concussions.
Health and safety is a priority.
Heat, heart, and health history.
From heat-related illness to head injuries to heart-related issues to the medical history of students.
Your well-being is our priority because we are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
And we are SHN Sports. Welcome back here, top of the second inning. Rob Hipp alongside Joshua Harris as Georgetown trails 2-1. Back on the offense now will be the Kingwood Park Panthers. They start with the eighth batter, the designated hitter, number 8, Kyle Stastny. Pitch on the way here from Grayson Smith, too far outside. The early count, 1 ball, no strikes here on Stastny.
Yeah, I know Grayson would really like to get dialed in here right away in this top of this second inning and get some things going and get out of here before we get any more runs scored against us. So,
second pitch again too far. 2-0 the count now here in a batter's count. Stastny. No outs, top of the second. Georgetown trails 2-1. The right-handed pitch to the left-handed batter, too close on the inside, 3-0.
You got any stats on Stastny?
Yeah, I was just about to go over that, actually. Stastny here, a senior in his 28th game, averages 174. He does lead the team in triples. He's got 2 of those. This is a Kingwood Park team that, according to our stats, only has 6 triples this year, but that's still a hard feat to get to.
Yeah, those triples are hard to come by.
4 pitches will be a base on balls for Stastny.
He didn't need a high batting average for that at bat. We just pitched him 4 balls, and Grayson needs to get dialed in here and just throw some good hard strikes.
That'll bring up the bottom of the order, the left fielder, number 4, Brandon Madden. Brandon Madden in his 35th game averages 225, his 123rd plate appearance, 102 at-bats. He's got 15 runs on 23 hits, 24 RBIs. He's doubled 5 times and tripled once. He also has 1 home run. A right-handed batter. Again, it's Brandon Madden. The pitch on the way as he bunts this one into foul territory just in front of the first base dugout of the Kingwood Park Panthers. 0-1 the count. You're right, Grayson has got to get back into that rhythm. He struggled through the first 5 batters there in the first inning, but then the last 3 he took care of business.
That's the zone he needs to find again and just throw like he knows how to throw, because he is one of our best.
Pitch on the way. This one is going to pop up to left field. Hunter Savarese in the sunshine, going to be able to haul it down. The runner's going to have to get back over to first, and that'll be a fly 7 for the first out.
Yeah, you could tell that sun was right there in his eyes, but he had his shades dropped down, found the ball, and made that great catch there.
Well, we move back to the top of the order now. The second baseman, number 3, Matthew Burke, coming into this game. He averaged 346. That number's up because he had the leadoff hit, and he was able to come around and score the first of those 2 runs in the first.
Yeah, he had a great shot right up the middle at that first at bat.
Base runner on first for Kingwood Park, and now time is called by Burke. He'll step aside. The wind's starting to whip up a little bit here. You know, when we first got here, there wasn't much wind, Joshua.
You know, I noticed as that sun starts to go down in some of these games, that wind starts to pick up a little bit, and, you know, the nighttime weather starts to settle in, so it'll be interesting. But they're definitely blowing straight towards us now.
Well, you got me thinking, when the sun goes down, I won't even sing the song.
Yes. Gatorade time.
No pitch thrown yet to Burke as Georgetown tried to pick on a 1-3, keeping that base runner honest. 0-0, 1 out. Again on a 1-3. Pick attempt and almost got him that time. He's safe, though.
That was a little Kenny Chesney, wasn't it? I took my wife to see Kenny Chesney this last week as a Mother's Day present, and first time we've ever heard her, she was good. I mean, he was really good.
Great stuff. Kenny Chesney. Still no pitch thrown here to Burke. Georgetown again trying to pick on a 1-3 as Grayson Smith over to Cole Moore, and the first base umpire, John Wilson, says he's safe, man.
Keeping him honest there at first base.
We got 2 chapters of Tasso being represented out here. The next pitch too far, or the first pitch finally to the leadoff Matthew Burke, or top of the order Matthew Burke, is going to be a ball 1-0.
Old Grayson's trying to get that cutter to fall in there, but it's just dropping that catcher way out. No, not even close.
1-0 pitch.
There.
This one curves back in for a strike. 1-1.
There we go. Now he found that zone.
Well, I think we're at the Dell Diamond right now. You've got
looks like the train's coming through here.
Little yellow signatured Union Pacific train rolling right behind us on the tracks. We're in Bryan, Texas, though. We're not in Round Rock, Texas.
Looking to get to Round Rock, though.
That's
right.
where
we'd like to be here in a couple of weeks. That's for sure. Maybe that's a little prophecy or foreshadowing there.
There you go.
That we're going.
1-1 the count. 1 out. Base runner on 1 for Kingwood Park. The Panthers have the lead 2-1. A pitch by Smith. That one looked close, but they're going to say too low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Matthew Burke.
Just missed the knees there on that one. But good, straight, hard pitch, though. Just dropped it a little low in there.
Sunshine back on the outfield. The infield pretty much covered now by the sun as it sets. The pick attempt back on a 1-3. The base runner safe. That's about the 4th or 5th time we've seen Grayson Smith throw to Cole Moore over there at first for Georgetown, trying to get that base runner out at first, who reached on a walk after 4 pitches, Kyle Stastny. Smith now on the right-handed delivery. This one pops up into the air. Right field foul territory catchable. Colmore chasing it from first, and instead, little Noah Thompson trying to get on the action, and he couldn't get there in time as he came all the way down. And maybe just a little miscommunication. They didn't bump into each other, but both Moore and Thompson were trying to go for it. They had an opportunity. That would have been a hard one, though.
Yeah, it would have been a hard one. We had 3 Eagles right together, and those 2 tried hard on it, and it was just out of his grasp. Would have been a great foul catch if he could have got to that.
There was a whole nest of Eagles over there, but the eggs got cracked.
Yes.
Don't be eating no eagle egg, man. I think you go to prison for that.
That's federal. That's federal offense.
2-2. The count here. Georgetown pitcher Smith. This is going to be a base hit out to left field. Runners now on 1-2. A beautiful hit just shy of that left power alley, and that'll put runners now on 1-2, and that will be the 3rd hit by Kingwood Park.
Posey tried to make a great play at short there and just made a great dive. Can't blame him for the effort, and it just was just out of the grasp of his glove there, but great effort.
Well, Burke batting perfect now, 1 or 2 for 2. It'll bring up the center fielder, Bryson Jackson, as he bunts this one over to third, and Georgetown. Jeffrey David over to Colmore, got him in time for the out. Runners do advance to 2 and 3, though, but that is the second out. Great effort on the 5-3 out.
And I will tell you, I was watching pregame warm-ups here, and this Panther team, literally every one of them walked through 3 times bunting that ball as that coach pitched behind the net. And they were practicing those bunts. So I think they're a team that really depends on the bunt to get runners advanced. And so I think we'll see quite a bit of that in this series.
Runners on 2 and 3 now. We're in 2-out territory. Right-handed pitch too far to the outside on Clay Shell, who was hit by a pitch and left stranded at third back in the first. Top of the second, we are again 2 outs. 1-0 the count. Georgetown trails 2-1. Kingwood Park has runners on 2 and 3. The pitch by Smith. This one chopped foul. And to the feet of Coach Adam Foster. The count at 1 ball and 1 strike here on Clay Sowell.
We want to hold these guys at second and third, that's for sure.
One the count, 2 outs. Runners at 2 and 3. Smith the pitch. This one hit foul off the back of the bat. 1-2 into the net.
Good to get this second strike here, and like to see old Grayson throw in one of these nice hard fastballs or cutters and get him to take a big cut at it. He can do it. He can throw some great balls.
One and two the count here. 2 outs, runners on 2 and 3. Smith, before the pitch, time is called by the batter, Clay Sowell. He's on a 1-2 count. Welcome in those friends that may be temporarily checking out Facebook Live. Rob Hipp with Joshua Harris. Hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. If you're back at Georgetown, remember to tune in to 106.7 FM KGT and LP Georgetown for this game. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. This one straight up into the air, and Grayson Smith should be able to get it, tracking it down. And no, Cole Moore is going to have it there because it pops up on a little fly at 3 action. So Georgetown saving the place there as they had runners on 2 and 3, an opportunity for those runners to come around and score, but then it was Grayson Smith doing great work there in the top of the second inning, not allowing any runs. So no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error in that inning. If I'm not, no, there was no errors in that inning.
No errors in that inning, and Grayson did a
2
great
left
job
on.
getting him to pop up and get us out of that inning with no runs scored, and that's what we wanted for sure.
Well, Josh, I'll send it back over to you to thank some of our wonderful sponsors here on KGT and LP Georgetown.
Absolutely. Once again, I want to thank every one of us on behalf of me and Rob for the great sponsorships for this series against the Kingwood Panthers. I left off with Doug Groves and Program Insurance Group. Program Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle baseball. They specialize in business insurance, and their website is pigbcs.com. Thank you, Doug. Also, new this week, wasn't on here last week, but boy, I tell you what, Minuteman Press, there in Georgetown. Ty Gibson, love Ty, does a lot of great work in the community. Minuteman Press specializes in direct mail, promotional products, brochures, business cards, and much, much more. Their website is mmptx.com. Also want to thank a new sponsor for this weekend, White Shadow Basketball. Coach Trey White. White Shadow Basketball helps give each player an opportunity to gain the tools he or she needs to reach and exceed their basketball goals. Emphasis on devotional shooting, one-on-one skills, ball handling, and the whole game. White Shadow Basketball is online at facebook.com/white basketball.
Leading off for Georgetown here in the bottom of the second inning will be the seventh in the order, the left fielder, number 25, Hunter Savarese. And Rodriguez quickly delivers this left-handed pitch across the plate, but too high. 1 ball and no strikes here for Hunter.
Savarese would love to get this thing going with a good double or triple, that's for sure.
Quickly back in motion, and the next pitch again emulated the first one for another ball. 2-0 quickly here for Hunter Savarese. He'll take it.
Absolutely.
2-0, this one hit foul way back behind us off the first base side as it goes over the beautiful facility here at NutriBolt Stadium. We talk about a stadium that most of the stadium seating is under an awning, so it's nice and cool here in what would be a very hot afternoon.
Absolutely, and now that the sun's going down, it has started to cool off in here, and it's a great night for baseball. It must have dropped at least 5, 6, 7 degrees since that sun started to drop, and so it's settling in to be a beautiful night for baseball.
A quick count here on 3-1. Savarese pegs this one out to left field, and that one is going deep, and that one, wow, is tracked by Bryson Jackson as he comes all the way from center field, and he is able to snag that ball as he crisscrosses with his left fielder, Brandon Madden. That was an amazing grab out there near the fence by Bryson Jackson for the first out.
Jackson just showed the wheels that he's got on him, and that boy was moving and made a great catch coming all the way over from center.
1 out we are, bottom of the second. Georgetown trails 2-1, and again, quickly, Rodriguez back in the stroke here. 1-0 the count on the 8th in the order, the right fielder, number 17, Noah Thompson. Next pitch, a swing and a miss to bring it even at 1-1. One and one, 1 out. Left-handed pitch and a hit by pitch will put Thompson on first base. That is the second hit by pitch that we have seen this afternoon by Rodriguez. And here in the bottom of the second inning, Georgetown trails 2-1, but you've got your tying run at first, your lead runner now at the bottom of the order at home plate, the second baseman, number 8, Luke Seaback.
Yeah, Thompson just hung in there and took that ball to the, looked like it hit him right there on the forearm, and we'll take that as a hit down to first base.
Well, this is good 1-out territory for Georgetown. We know they do their damage in 2 outs, though. So we'll see what happens here.
Seaback would like to bring him around.
The sophomore Rodriguez with the pitch, the bunt up on the way, and Rodriguez is going to throw on a 1-3 put out for the second out, but that will advance Noah Thompson into scoring position. The second out here, Luke Seaback. Moves us back to the top of the order, though, to the shortstop, number 5, Cole Posey. Cole 0 for 1 this afternoon as he popped one up into right field for the first out back in the first.
Yeah, Posey'd like to have this second at bat be a meaningful one and get a nice hit on it and bring Thompson around and to tie this ball game up.
The left-handed pitching of the sophomore Rodriguez. Boy, what a young man that is. Only a sophomore for Kingwood Park. This pitch, though, too far outside on Cole Posey. 1 ball and no strikes here. Again, 2 outs. Base runner on second in scoring position. The tying run at second is Noah Thompson. Rodriguez slowing down a little bit now as he's got that runner he has to keep an eye on at second, and he turns around trying to pick, and luckily Noah Thompson able to dive back over just in the nick of time on the pick attempt. 1-0. for Cole Posey. This is where Cole needs a hit here for Georgetown to bring that runner around and tie this game up here.
And we've seen Posey do it before, so it's definitely time here.
Rodriguez looks over the left shoulder. The right-handed pitch too close inside. Brings the count now. 2 balls and no strikes for Copo.
Copo being nice and patient up there, making Rodriguez pitch to him.
Well, this could be a series that goes all the way to Saturday. Game tomorrow, definite, will be here. And then if a game 3 is necessary, it'll be back on Saturday. Pitch here, too high into the inside. And now 3 balls, no strikes for Cole Posey. 2 outs we are. Bottom of the second, Georgetown trails 2-1, but they've got that tying run out there at second base. The lead runner is Cole Posey at home plate right now.
You've got to give it to the umpire. He's making both pitchers pitch strikes. He's not calling anything either way, playing any favorites.
Pitch here on the way, again too high. So 4 pitches will result in 4 balls. That will put Cole Posey on first as he reaches on the base on balls. And that is the second time that we have seen that this afternoon. The last time Rodriguez walked a Georgetown runner, that was our batter, that was Wyatt Childress, who eventually reached on an E3 to third and came around and scored that Lone Ranger run for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'd like to see old Childress here at batting 280. Advance that up a little bit here in these playoffs and bring 1 or 2 runs around, or maybe get one out of here, and let's go ahead and take the lead in this second inning here.
Now Childress, a right-handed batter for Georgetown. He's 0 for this afternoon. He did reach on the walk and came around and scored that run from the RBI of Ryan Neitch earlier in the first. Georgetown trails 2-1. You've got your runners on 1 and 2. Your tying run is at second, lead run at first. The sophomore Jackson Rodriguez, the left-handed pitcher on the mound for Kingwood Park as he scans over his left shoulder and now picks things up. You know, in high school, you're allowed to kind of move around like that, but when you move up to the collegiate and professional level, you get called for balking quite a bit.
Yeah, they're going to make you move quickly, and they're giving him some leeway here. And you're right, though. With these runners on, he has definitely slowed down his delivery, taking his time and trying to play smart baseball.
Pitch on the way. Georgetown going for the double steal. That one hit foul. They're going to have to come back.
And you got to think, as much as we've talked about the base running of the Georgetown Eagles, that Kingwood is very aware of how proficient they are on these bases and running these bases, and that's probably why that scouting report says these guys can definitely take some bases, so watch them close. And there you saw an example of it as Georgetown went for that double steal, and they've done a lot of that this playoffs.
Well, Coach Adam Foster of Georgetown may have the upper hand on Coach Bruce Cox of Kingwood Park because Foster was able to go out and scout that last game. Kingwood Park didn't have the opportunity to because Georgetown series was already over.
True that.
Unless they came out on Thursday.
And that had to have been an emotional weekend last week for Kingwood as well, playing against Santa Fe. The atmosphere out here must have been just incredible.
0-1 delivery. That one drops in for a strike to bring it to 0-2. The Kingwood Park fans to our right, happy about that call. Hey, on a Thursday night, we had a sea of blue show up from Georgetown, so appreciate all the Georgetown fans that made that 2-hour journey here to Bryan, Texas.
Yeah, they've come and filled in. It wasn't that full when we started, but with people getting off work, they've made their way in now. We've got a great crowd out here supporting this Eagle baseball team.
Wyatt Childress trying to advance his runner to score, and now Georgetown going to try to take off to third, and boy, they're going to be trapped here, trying to dance over to third base as they continue to move around, and that's going to be tagged out as he dives back over to second. Now the runner's going to head back to first. Can they do a little trickeration again here? As they are still dancing around between second and third, Georgetown's going to take off here and finally tag for the third out there. Well, we thought Georgetown may be able to do some more, but unfortunately, a tag out there as Thompson got stranded. He's tagged for the third out.
I know they're out and the inning's over, but it's just fun to watch these Georgetown Eagles run these bases and do the things that coaches taught them how to do, and they're very successful most of the time. And so, I know we're out, but that was just fun to watch. That's fun baseball.
I'm not even going to try to score that, to be honest.
You can't.
No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave one on base. We're through 2. Georgetown trails 2-1. Back to the offense. We move Kingwood Park. Georgetown Eagles will pick back up here in just a few moments.
The University Interscholastic League would like to thank its corporate sponsors. Without the generous support of these sponsors, many UIL activities would not be possible. The UIL gives special thanks to Balfour, Baylor Scott & White, Dairy Max, Dairy Queen, Ford, Fox Sports Southwest, Gatorade, Hellas Construction, Max Preps, the NFHS Network, Nike, Register My Athlete, Spalding, and Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. These generous corporate sponsors support the UIL in all its activities, music, academics, and athletics. The UIL appreciates these sponsors and their participation in all that the UIL does in Texas extracurricular activities. On behalf of the UIL and its corporate sponsors, thank you for supporting UIL activities in your community and enjoy the game.
We'll send it over to Josh. We got another sponsor to thank here.
Get to this last one as we run through our sponsors, one time full, and we're going to get to those a few times, and so we want to thank all of the sponsors. I wanted to get to this last one, though. Stacy Cardwell over at True Blue Bell Bonds, you got to say that fast 3 times. True Blue Bell Bonds in Georgetown is open 24 hours a day. You can reach them at any time. They're located at 501 South Austin Avenue. True Blue Bell Bond is online at truebluebellbond.com. Thank you so much to all of our wonderful sponsors.
Well, again, leading off here for the Kingwood Park Panthers will be fourth in the order, the catcher, number 5, Chase Ferrum. He is 1 for 1 this afternoon. He had that stand-up double back in the first. Grayson Smith on the mound for Georgetown, of course, as he started here at the top of the third. The right-handed pitch, he swung and bit at that one, and the stake had just enough meat on it to be called a strike, 1-0-1.
You betcha. That was a great pitch, and he got him to go. He tried to hold back, but it was just too much momentum, and first called strike.
0-1 the count here, nobody on for Kingwood Park. Just underway in the top of the third. Georgetown trails 2-1. Right-handed pitch, clipped the corner for a strike as he looked at it, 0-2.
Yeah, it was a great cutter right in there. Got just enough drop on it, and the umpire liked it, and so did we.
0-2 count. Grayson Smith trying to regain some of the composure that he lost in that first inning. He's battled his way back. Pitch on the way, too low as it goes ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Great stop there by Childress at that plate.
Well, again, for our fans there on the Facebook live stream, we're just kind of doing this for fun, but make sure to turn your radio dial if you're in Georgetown over to 106.7 FM. Again, on the radio dial at 106.7 FM, KGTN-LP back in Georgetown. Appreciate everybody joining us. And better audio, of course, there. We're just doing this for fun. 2-2 the count.
Absolutely. Eagle Fight never dies. Thank you for everybody tuning in.
Thank you to Joshua Harris for being up here, man.
Thank you, Rob, for letting me. I have had such a great time this month doing these with you, and boy, I'm just
this one's ground over. David is going to try to retrace it. He's not going to be able to get there in time. That's not an error. That was a tough one for David. He almost was able to pull it off. I don't know how they're going to score it there. I'm not going to call an error on that.
No, I wouldn't. That was a hard hit ball. He played it off of his chest. He didn't let it get past him. And the great thing that I saw him do was he was going to fire that ball in there. Instead of having a bad throw and let that man get to second, he just held on to it and said, hey, we live to play another day here.
They scored an error up on the board, but
that was a hard hit ball that played off of. Did what they teach from Little League. Keep that ball in front of you when it's hard hit like that, and don't let it get into the outfield. So
we'll give Ferrum the benefit of the doubt on that play. Pitch on the way. This one hit right into the direction, and can Georgetown get the double play? They do. Wow, what a play. Luke Seaback there on a nice 4-5-3 play for the double out.
We talk about their double steals a lot and the base running, but I tell you what, it has been exciting to watch their double play defense and get double plays and double plays first and second, double plays second and third to home. I mean, it's been awesome to watch the defense of the Georgetown Eagles in these double plays. That was a great stretch by the first baseman to get that ball as well.
I beg your pardon, a 4-6-3. I said 4-5-3. I said 5s because I was looking at Cole Posey. The shortstop is in that 6th position, but it's a 4-6-3.
Difference between me and you is I'm still calling them by base. You know those numbers. I'm learning all of that. So I'm glad that you're here to really call it the way it's supposed to.
Second to short, and then short over
short
to
first and
yeah.
first to home. You know, that's how you started. You told me though, so you know, we all got to start somewhere.
0-1 the early count here on Tommy Ivy, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging for the second out back in the first. Next pitch too far outside. 1-1 even count.
What did you say earlier? You were telling me some of the things you were learning when you first started. He pitched it down to the left.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible, man.
So I'm learning too, man. Thank you for teaching me.
You're rocking and rolling, man. 1-1 count. Clip the corner for a strike.
That's a pretty pitch. That's the kind of pitching that we're used to seeing Grayson Smith pitch, just slicing into these corners and finding those grooves, and so settling in now nicely.
1-2 the count here. 2 outs, bottom of the third. Georgetown trails 2-1, nobody on. Tommy Ivy, 6th in the order, the right fielder, the right-handed batter. It was Grayson Smith on the mound, the right-handed pitch. This one hit foul off the late swing of the bat, into the net off the first base side. The count remains 1-2. Not to say a 4.53, that would have been pretty impressive.
Yes.
You would have tracked all, oh man, you're talking 90 feet in between each base. That would have been a lot of feet in a few seconds.
Very fast.
1-2 pitch. This one foul over to right field, and it will not be catchable as it bounces behind the grandstands off that corner at 325 there at right field. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on 2 outs. Starting to cool off up here. A little warm up here tonight.
It was really sticky and humid when we got here. We got an AC behind us, but it's starting to cool off now, and it's starting to feel really nice and comfortable. We would call this baseball game.
1-2 delivery, too far to the inside, brings the count to 2-2. So again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Georgetown trails here 2-1 in the top of the third inning. They are 2 outs though on the defensive end here, trying to strike out Ivy and retire him to bring this to the bottom of the third. The pitch on the way, foul again off the end of the bat, off the first base side, over the fence. 2-2, the count remains.
Yeah, Ivy hanging in there tough and fouling these pitches away. Grayson would like to get him swing at one of these and get out of this inning.
Grayson Smith with the right foot to the right of the rubber, right on that right side of the rubber. The pitch on the way here, and again too low. That's going to bring it to a full count now, 3-2.
Yeah, it was ahead of him. Now he's worked it to a full count. You just got to bear down on him and make him hit something.
Grayson Smith trying to go for the third out on the third batter here in the top of the third. Chops this one over off the third baseline into the Georgetown Eagle dugout, and the count remains 3-2.
That was a great pitch, and boy, Ivy just got a piece of that, sent it over into the Georgetown dugout.
That ball's went into both dugouts this afternoon.
Ooh, that shot over there to the Panthers side, that could have really taken someone's eye out. I'm glad they were heads up over there, because sometimes you get to talking and not paying attention, but they say pay attention in those dugouts at all times.
Georgetown fans clapping here. 3-2 over to right field. Center actually. Now it goes to right. Noah Thompson with a glance of sunshine in his eye. The one spot of the field where the sun still is. Noah Thompson able to haul that one in on the fly to right field. That'll do it for Georgetown's defense. They had to do some big things. They do. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we move to the bottom of the third inning. Georgetown trails 2-1. We'll keep things right here.
That's okay. They did a great job that inning. Grayson Smith is settled in now. He's pitching good hard strikes. They're fouling it away, getting some contact, but nothing big. Didn't have any damage there that inning, and so we had a great outing on that inning there.
Again, thanks for joining us here on the SHNSports.com broadcast network, as well as 106.7 FM KGTN LP Georgetown. For those entertaining themselves on the Facebook live stream, we're going to end that stream because it's not really official. We just do it for fun. But tune over to 106.7 FM KGTN LP Georgetown, also at SHNSports.com, as we continue to keep things going here. Georgetown's got to find a way on offense here. Leading off for the Eagles will be We'll see if it's Wyatt Childress. He was left out there on the base.
Childress
so I think
left him more.
So I think Wyatt will be back out there. He will, as his 0-2 count will be scratched, of course. So Wyatt Childress will be back. Leading off here, the second in the order, the catcher, he's 0 for, reached on a walk and then an error to third and came around and scored the lone run for Georgetown here in this ball game. 2-1 we are. Bottom of the third. And the first pitch on the way, and that one was a ball?
That was a ball. Childress would love to get this inning going and get a good hit here, and he is definitely due and capable. And if he can get a pitch to hit, I got a feeling he's going to drive this one real nice.
1-0 pitch too far outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Wyatt Childress. Still plenty of time here in this ball game for either of these teams to really find a rally here. You got Georgetown's tying run at home plate right now. Wyatt Childress, 2-0, no outs here in the bottom of the third, and time is called. Wyatt's a very composed player. He's one that you see in that box that calls time quite a bit. He likes to get things set. Really likes to take his time in there, and it's paid off several times this year for Georgetown.
Yeah, he's another one of those real patient hitters. He makes sure he's ready, and he doesn't let the pitcher rush him at all.
This one hit foul off the end of the bat into the net here on the first base side. The count at 2-1. Well, his patience may be to the disliking of the, I don't want to say impatient, but very fast pitching style of Jackson Rodriguez.
Yeah, he likes to get in there and throw, especially when he doesn't have anybody on base to have to worry about. And Childress, though, says, you know what, we're going to go at my pace, and let's hope it pays off here.
2-1, that one got way out of the reach of way out of the reach of Childress.
You start to get used to these guys' kind of routines, and Childress will step into that corner every time, 1 foot out, readjust his gloves, get in there and make sure he's ready to go.
Next one popped up. That should be catchable as it goes quickly, though. The air may grab the diving. What a play out there by the second baseman, Matthew Burke, in foul territory on both knees.
Yeah, Burke got a great jump on that and made a great play. Didn't have any sun to worry about. And that ball, I thought that ball was going to float out for a second, but it just kind of stalemated and came straight down to him, and he made a great kind of sliding catch. Great job.
Bottom of the third we are, 1 out now. That'll bring up the left-handed hitter for Georgetown, the first baseman, the power hitter, number 23, Cole Moore. He's 0 for 1, out on a 3U earlier in the first. This pitch too far to the outside reach of Cole Moore for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, Moore at 390 can definitely make something happen here, and I know he'd like to get that going, especially with that first at bat not working out the way he'd like for it to.
Left-handed pitch to the left-handed hitter, goes low for another ball, 2-0. The sun continues to set here in Bryan, Texas. Just a little bit of sun on the tops of the trees, making for a beautiful sight here at Nutrabolt Stadium. This one clips the corner for a strike as Cole Moore looked at it, 2-1.
As that sun has gone down now, that wind has come and kicked up, probably 10 or 15 miles an hour more, and those flags are shooting straight at us now, so we'll see how that affects the ball.
Next pitch, a ball, 3-1. Rodriguez has got himself in trouble here as of recent, throwing a lot of balls, but able to work his way out of it still, though.
Boy, sure would like to see Moore get a quick one around and take one down that right field line.
And the next pitch as he looks at it for a strike. Now the payoff, 3-2 on Cole Moore. And boy, Cole just wants to get a good, hearty, chunky bite of this one.
He really thought that, and then I thought that one was a ball too, and he was headed down, but the umpire said not yet.
Richard Brenniger, the umpire. This one is going to be a base hit out to left field as Cole Posey standing tall at first with the hit for Georgetown. That is their second hit of the ball game.
Cole with a great cut on it. We'll take that all day. It'll bump his batting average up, and we got a man on first, and that's the tying run.
Only one out here in the bottom of the third. Georgetown trails 2-1. Those 2 runs for Kingwood Park coming on the first two batters in the first, as Grayson Smith struggling early, but finding his composure here, not allowing any runs in the last 2 and 3 innings. That'll bring up Ryan Knights, the center fielder. He's got the RBI that allowed Childress to come in and score that lone run that's on the board right now. This pitch gets away from the catcher, but able to get back under it here, and the runner will not be able to advance. 1-0 the count here on the right-handed hitter, Ryan Knights.
Yeah, Knights does not want to hit into a double play here. He wants to make good contact, drive it over the infield, and bring more around.
Pitch on the way. Knights looks at it. That one looked like it came in too high, and I think the Georgetown fans were happy with that one. The count at 1-1.
Georgetown wasn't happy, but Kingwood sure was.
One base runner on one is Colmore for Georgetown, as Rodriguez over to Clay Salas, first baseman, trying to keep him honest on a 1-3 pick attempt. 1-1, 1 out. Bottom of the third, Georgetown trails 2-1 with the base runner on first. With your tying run on first, your lead run is at home plate right now, Ryan Knights. This one too close on the inside as he tried to clip the corner, but it got away from him. And the count here on Ryan, 2-1. Two-one pitch. This one over to left. It's going deep. That one will drop in time in front of the fence. Runner's going to come around. Knight standing up on the double and coming around and scoring the tying run is Colmore.
Boy.
2 ribeyes cooking tonight now for Ryan. Good night.
Knight just got a hold of all of that one. I mean, that had any height on it, that would have been out, but he just, I mean, a perfect line drive shot between left and center and right to the wall and brought more around, and we are all tied up, Rob.
Boy, talk about Ryan Knights. 2 doubles already in this game, 2 RBIs, and Georgetown now tied 2-2.
And the stakes are a-cooking for the Eagles now.
Those steaks are made for cooking.
And that's just what we'll do.
I'll cook those steaks day and night. I'll cook them medium rare for you.
I'm so sorry, folks. I'm so sorry. We're going on tour, by the way, if you'd like to. Starting off at Ken's Guitars over there.
Yeah.
What, Monday nights or when?
Yeah,
Friday
we'll be
night?
there, Ken. We love you,
Friday
buddy.
night. We love you, man. Here we come. Better get more seats in there. I think you only hold 60. We'll probably have at least 100.
Yeah, I think we'll have maybe I think we'll probably have nobody there except you, Ken, because you have to keep the door open.
Yeah, you'll hold it. Beg people to come in.
Third baseman, that one got away, and that runner will advance. Knights over to third now. That pitch got away on a wild pitch to Jeffrey David. The count now 1-0, and Knights will head over to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, old Rodriguez, I'm watching him. He's trying to throw this cutter to get it in there in the corner, and he just doesn't have a lot of control with it and got away from the catcher there. We've got who's that, Moore on third now?
No, that's Ryan Knights.
Knights, I'm sorry. Moore came in. Knights is on third now. Only 1 out. I know we like to hit it 2 outs, but we'll take it 1 out. And a good hard hit fly ball will bring Knights home.
1-0 here, Jeffrey David. Pitch on the way. David will hit this one foul behind the first base line. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
We'd like to go ahead here. We've tied it up. We'd like to go ahead and take the lead.
1-1. Too far outside, 2-1. That one barely got out of the reach almost again on Ferrum. As a catcher there for Kingwood Park to count 2-1 here on the third baseman, Jeffrey David.
Rodriguez is starting to slip now. It might be interesting to see how much longer he stays in there if we get a couple more runs.
On deck, Jackson Seosin here with 1 out. A swing and a miss here, though, will make it 2-2. And Boy, that catcher quickly trying to get over there to third, and Ryan Knight slides back in, and he's safe, thankfully.
Yeah. Thankfully, because that was a great throw by your catcher here for Kingwood. Just got back in time.
Georgetown shouting the Let's Go Eagles chant, coming out in force in that Georgetown Eagle blue. 2-2 delivery off the left hand. A swing here by David will go off the back of the bat just behind us. Foul ball, 2-2, the count remains.
David took a big rip at that one and just cut under it, fouled it back behind us. Or as beginners say, smashed it back behind us.
Smacked it.
Smacked it back behind us.
He smacked it behind us.
Smacked it back behind.
I forgot who said that a while ago.
No, he was telling.
One of the guys back here. Oh, it was
smashed it back behind us.
He smacked it.
Smacked
yeah,
it.
Smacked it. 2-2. The pitch here, a ball too low. That was Cole Winkler telling us that a while ago.
Yeah.
He enjoys that kind of call. Smacked it into the net.
Smacked it right into the net as hard as he could.
3-2 payoff pitch on the way.
Yes.
Left base. This one to left field, a hit, and Georgetown will come in and score. Jeffrey David cooking the stakes. The third RBI for Georgetown, and that will bring in Ryan Knight.
And Georgetown has now taken the lead in this ball game. And boy, I tell you what, your Eagle fans are fired up this inning. They're so supportive. I just love the fire that they've got for their Eagles, and that Eagle fight never dies spirit. So in effect here tonight.
I like the way that the PA, Richard Zane, said Jackson's name. He said Jackson C. Osen, because this is a man that when he gets rolling, he is a guy that you truly should see. The quarterback for Georgetown, of course, playing in their spring game tonight, but Jackson says, I love you guys in football, but baby, we still got some baseball bats swinging.
I'm not done on this baseball field. I will catch up with my teammates on the football field here coming up later on this summer, especially as they start off season in two-a-days and things like that. But right now, this man wants to get a hit.
And bat hits the ball foul off the first base side. The early count here on Jackson, 0-1.
Action Jackson would like to bring this man on first around.
Georgetown leads 3-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. They've scored 1 run in the first, no runs in the second, and then 2 here to take the 1-run lead. With 1 out, need a little insurance. Some cushion would be nice right now. This would be a good time for Georgetown baseball to get into the upholstery business and put a little foam in the mattress, if you will.
Nice.
A little cushion.
Okay. We do want a little cushion because you never know. You know, these playoff games, anything can happen. So we want to get as much cushion as we can here in these innings.
Again, trying to keep the base runner honest over there as Jackson Rodriguez over to Clay Sowell, the runner safe. That base runner is Jeffrey David. That's your 4th run on first base, your 5th run is Jackson Seosin. Seosin is 0 for 1. He popped one up to center field for the 3rd out back in the 1st.
He'd like to keep it.
0-2, chops this one over off the 3rd baseline as it rolls foul. Cole Moore over there having fun in front of the Georgetown Eagle dugout. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes here and 1 out.
And Seosin would like to not pop this up, but get a nice rip on it, get it out of the infield, and bring this base runner around to 2nd or 3rd.
Pitch here is a ball, 1-2 as Seosin looked at that one. One and 2 for Jackson Seosin. Georgetown fans making a lot of noise, trying to cheer their team on here. Another pick attempt on a 1-3. The runner safe is David out there with that hit and steak that he cooked a while ago for Ryan Knight. You know, Ryan's been out there cooking so many tonight. Jeffrey said, let me cook you one.
Yeah, let me have a turn.
He said, I like to put a little horseradish sauce on my ribeye, though. This one Hit foul off the back of the bat, 1-2. Smacked it.
Smacked it back foul. Well, as you look at that scoreboard, we got a pretty even game going, you know. We're up one now, 3 hits to 4 hits, 2 errors each, you know. So started a little shaky, but we've evened it out and starting to go ahead here in game 1.
1-2 delivery. This one over to the second baseman. They're trying to double play now, and was Georgetown able to beat it out? Yes, he was. The runner at second, though, will be out, but Jackson Seosin able to beat that double play out, and he will rest at first. Jeffrey David, however, will be out.
Yeah, Seosin got a nice rip on it. Didn't hit it exactly where he wanted, though. Was able to make the play, and it's not what we were looking for, but we've got one more chance, and we love batting with 2 outs, so we'll see how this goes.
Bottom of the third, 2 outs. Base runner on first. David was tagged out there at second, or put out at second. Now the pitch on the way, right up the middle, a base hit. Runners at 1 and 2. That was Hunter Savarese with the hit for Georgetown.
That's the hit Seosin wanted. That's what he was going for. Savarese said, let me show you how to do it.
Boy, as we look at this inning, we have went through 6 batters. 4 of those 6 batters with hits now for Georgetown. They've been able to put 2 runs in. They lead 3-2. And a 2-out territory as the infield comes in. The coaching staff for Kingwood Park talks things over here with Jackson Rodriguez. So base runners on 1 and 2 for the Eagles. They lead by 1.
You're going to have a new pitcher here, Rob, coming in. I knew that bullpen for Kingwood was very active. And so that's going to do it for Rodriguez tonight.
So Rodriguez will pitch through 3 2/3 innings. He started out on fire.
Yeah, pitched well there to start.
On those 3 2/3 innings pitch, however, he does allow 3 runs
on 5 hits.
Number 9 is on the mound for Kingwood Park. That'll be Daniel Bresco. So Daniel Bresco will be the pitcher now.
You got any stats on Bresco, Rob?
Probably so. A little flipperooski here.
Please. Coming in to pitch for Kingwood Park, number 9, Daniel Bresco.
So if you look at Daniel Bresco here, another one of their ace pitchers, if you will. Boy, his ERA, a phenomenal 1.69. He's 5-2. That's a win percentage of .714. He's got 3 saves, and that leads all pitchers for Kingwood Park. So if you want to talk about a solid pitching core, the 17 wins in a row, Kingwood Park Panthers is a team you want to be talking about.
Yeah, you might be seeing your what could have been your starter for tomorrow night coming out now. I don't know how that exactly works. You could probably talk more about he'd be able to start tomorrow night, but him being your leading pitcher for Kingwood, they're
one of them.
One of them. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, your leading top daddy is the sophomore. He said, "Look,
is your Rodriguez?
I may be a sophomore, but I'm top daddy around here."
Okay. Okay. Well, you got a good one on the mound though, and looking at him warm up, looks like he's got a nice hard fastball and some good movement. So let's see what Georgetown can do against. That's Brasco and not Bresco, correct? Brasco.
It's a E, Bresco.
Bresco, okay.
That'll bring up 17 for Georgetown, the right fielder, Noah Thompson. Again, bottom of the third, 2 outs. So Rodriguez goes 3 2/3 innings pitch. He allows 3 runs. And on those 3 runs, he also allowed 5 hits. Now, there's still 2 that will be responsible for Rodriguez there at first and second. So those final numbers aren't assured yet. This one is hit foul over off the first baseline as it tries to hug it, goes foul for Noah Thompson. The early count here, 0-1.
Yep, Noah Thompson hitting it where he wants to hit it, and that's down that right field line. If he can get that straightened out and over that first baseman, we're going to get a couple more runs here. At being a left-handed batter, this is absolutely possible if he can swing around on it quick and get it to drive out to that right field.
Bresco, a right-handed pitcher to the left-handed hitting of Noah Thompson. That one too far to the out for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Time is called here as Thompson will step out for a few moments. Now the pitch on the way. Thompson, he is going to hit this one foul near the 325 corner at left field. Actually considerably closer than that, but it goes foul regardless, 1-2.
Yeah, went over towards the bullpen there where there's no action going on for Georgetown.
No reason for it.
No reason for it at this point. Grayson Smith has really settled in and pitching nice baseball.
One-two, swing and a miss on Thompson for the third out.
Oh, God, you saw
not
that,
too
Thompson.
happy.
He wanted that one, and that was a great pitch to hit and just got by him.
In this inning, Georgetown, though, picking up not only the runs they need, but they pick up the run that put them in the lead. 2 runs for the Georgetown Eagles. They get those 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors in that inning, but they leave 2 on base. As we're through 3.5. Beg your pardon, we're through 3. Top of the 4th upcoming. Joshua, I'll leave it here as we keep things here on Georgetown Eagle Baseball, presented by Cameron Davies with Cruising Kitchens.
Run through these again, and never could thank our sponsors and the supporters of the Georgetown Eagle baseball game, our baseball team, and these playoffs. Like you said, Rob, Cameron Davies over at Cruising Kitchens has just been phenomenal in his sponsoring and support of the Georgetown Eagles. Cruising Kitchens is a custom mobile business fabricator. Their builds range from the world's largest mobile kitchen to full entertainment trailers that include jumbotrons. Cruising Kitchens can be found at cruisingkitchens.com. And talk just a little bit about that big, huge facility that they've got now.
I would love to, but I can't.
Okay.
Right, we can't talk about it.
Okay.
But we can tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tonight we can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to leave it right there. Also, supporting the Georgetown Eagle baseball team is a organization and ministry that's dear to my heart, Oak Ridge Disciple House. Oak Ridge is a faith-based nonprofit Christian character building ministry geared towards reaching men 18 and up who are broken from substance abuse. If you are broken and ready, or you know somebody, call us, 512-905-2111, and we will find a place for you. OakRidgeDiscipleHouse.com.
Leadoff hit here for the third baseman, Matt King, right up the middle for the hit. Now, we can talk about Oak Ridge because you guys are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we appreciate all the work that you guys do, making everything possible for us, Joshua.
Well, it is my absolute privilege. A place like this, Rob, saved my life 13 years ago. Just here on May 22nd, I celebrated 13 years since the Lord pulled me out of that hell on earth and brought me to a place like we have today for men. And I'm just grateful that I get to give back and help one man at a time find this freedom from that life that will just lead you nowhere. So thanks, Rob.
Base runner on first for Kingwood Park. The second pitch here, or the first pitch here to the left-handed batter, Kyle Stasny. They call that one a strike as it goes foul off his bunt attempt. 0-1. I have a cough drop in my mouth, so it may sound a little weird here. This bunt going to go over, and Grayson Smith on a 1-3 for the out, but that will advance the runner, Matt King, over to second.
Yeah, Matt King over to second, and that's what the batter was looking for, to get him advanced over. So we got that out. So we're at 1 out now, and we want to keep that man at second right where he is.
That's a successful sacrifice bunt there to move your guy over to second base.
It is. It's what they do it for.
1 out, top of the 4th. Georgetown leads 3-2. Base runner in scoring position. That's your tying run. Your lead run at home plate right now is the bottom of the order, the left fielder, number 4, Brandon Madden. Then you talk about who's on deck. Mr. Perfect at 100 tonight, Matthew Burke. Pitch on the way here by Smith. Got him on the inside corner for the strike. 0-1.
Oh, that was a pretty pitch. I just love it when Smith gets into that zone and is just throwing great balls.
Grayson Smith trying to pick back to the second baseman. The base runner safe. Well, it's gotten pretty quiet here all of a sudden tonight. Loud for a while. Everything's quieted down.
Yeah, I think folks are kind of settling in and going, okay, we've got a ball game here, and just kind of waiting and seeing what's happening here. I promise you this, Georgetown, if they get into a bind or Grayson's kind of getting a little bit lackadaisical, they'll get fired back up again and get everybody pumped back up. That's what these Eagle fans do.
Smith checks over his right shoulder, kick up the right-handed pitch. This one hit strong foul off the first base line. Boy, he put a power swing on that bad boy, but it goes foul.
He sure did. Even the kids over there were hoping to get a foul ball. That one literally went over another fence and almost to the warehouses over there.
That one may have went back to Georgetown.
Could have been. We don't want him to straighten that out. Boy, I tell you what, that was a good cut.
0-2, base runner on second. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for the second out. Struck him.
Boy, that was a great comeback pitch after that hard hit foul ball. Grayson didn't get intimidated by it. He came right at him and got him swinging.
Number 3, Matthew Burke.
Top of the order here, Rob.
Oh, we were at the, yep, well, you're right. Now we're at the top of the order here. Matthew Burke, who I talked about earlier, who was on deck. Now he's hitting. He's perfect, 2 for 2.
2 for 2, and there's 2 out, so let's get him to hit into the third one.
Of course, had the leadoff hit, the single. Came around and scored the first of the 2 runs for Kingwood Park. Then had a single. Able to move over to second, but was left stranded at second in the second.
Not taking anything away from him. He has definitely hit the ball well tonight.
Holds the bat at about a 45-degree angle. That pitch, boy, got away there. That could have been an easy error on Grayson, but luckily the second baseman, Luke Seaback, able to get under it in time.
Yeah, Seaback
could have been dangerous.
Seaback was doing his job there, backing up that second baseman or that shortstop, and did a great job there making sure that that ball didn't go anywhere.
Well, that's why his last name's Back. He's got back in it.
I got your back.
I got your back.
Seaback's got your back.
Sounds like he could be a car dealer one day. Seaback's got your back.
Don't speak that into his life. I sold cars. We don't want to do that. That's
0-1.
Tough business to be in.
I just thought of something funny. I got to bring it. I know a lot of guys in the ministry who used to sell cars.
You better believe it, man.
Hey, that's all right, brother.
The Lord will turn all that sales into promotions for him.
Hey, shout out to Joe Champion over at Celebration Church. I think he sold cars at one point,
I bet he
too,
did, man. All of us guys that preach the gospel, most of us have been in some type of marketing or sales, and God turns all that into
the best marketing.
Into best marketing, promotions for the Lord and His kingdom. So love you, Joe, man. Joe is so good at helping us get our start, and I can never thank Joe Champion and Celebration Church, if I can say that, for all that they've done. For all they've done for Oak Ridge. For the first couple of years, that church was absolutely pinnacle in helping us get off the ground. And so, Joe, thank you, thank you, thank you.
A lot of good folks in the community making things happen all across the board. The count here, 0-1.
I told you they actually filled our whole other house up in Conroe with the stuff that they had donated, and it was amazing.
Pitch here as he looked at it for a ball, 1-1, Matthew Burke. 2 outs we are. Top of the fourth, Georgetown leads 3-2 for Kingwood Park at bat on the offensive end. Your tying run is at second. The lead run is at home plate. This is a man who can hit home runs. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss here, though. 1-2. Boy, Childress was quick in action. He was about to say to that second baseman, you better get back on it, boy, because I can throw a dart.
He sure did fire one down there, too. Eagle fans are firing Grayson up again. Get him out of this inning.
The 1-2 pitch. This one chopped over to the third, or beg your pardon, to the shortstop, Cole Posey. A little Copo to Como. Show me what those boys do. Boy, and he got him there.
Copo has just such an awesome rifle of an arm. And, well, that runner didn't have a chance. Great inning.
6-3 out. We always like to say it when it happens. Ko-Po to Ko-Mo over at first base.
Ko-Po, show us some Mo.
No runs.
We'll take
one
it.
hit. No errors. They leave one on. Georgetown trying to open up the upholstery shop here and put some padding in that cushion that they need. Leading 3-2. We'll step aside. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues in a few moments.
Are the UIL.
From the coaches
to the players,
to the educators.
We've been in your shoes.
Extracurricular activities are essential to the development of our youth.
From proposed rule changes
to the relaxation of transfer rules.
We keep it fair.
New academic contests. We hear you loud and clear.
New events are music to our ears.
We just added film. That's a wrap.
Educational activities help young people become productive citizens.
From staph infections to steroid use.
To cardiac and concussions.
Health and safety is a priority.
Heat, heart, and health history.
From heat-related illness to head injuries to heart-related issues to the medical history of students.
Your well-being is our priority because we are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
Well, Josh, and as I say, we are SHN Sports. We appreciate our partners with UIL, all the work that they do here, maintaining safety. The pitch on the way here to the leadoff for Georgetown, the bottom of the order, number 8, Luke Seaback, who's 0 for 1, out on a 1-3. There in the second for the second out. The first pitch to Luke is a strike, 0-1.
Luke would like to get it started here with a great hit, and he's taking some big cuts.
On the 0-2, he looks at that one and struck out for the first out.
Well, that's not the way we wanted to get this inning started, and I know that's not the way he wanted to get it started. So let's see how we can bounce back top of the order here now with Posey. 1 out.
At the bottom of the fourth we are. Cole Posey, who is 0 for 1, popped one up to right field in the first for the first out, then reached on a walk, was left stranded in the second. The pitch on the way. Cole bit at it and swung and missed. 0-1.
Yeah, old Bresco here firing it in. Fresh arm.
The 0-1 delivery. This one right over to the shortstop, Ryan Long, and a long pass, and that is going to be an error there, an E6 on Ryan Long as it's out of the reach of the first baseman, Clay Sowell, and Cole Posey will reach first on the error there on the shortstop.
Yeah, shortstop just threw it high. Sowell had to jump up, and he jumped off the base as Posey crossed it, and so we got a man on first, which should have been an out, but we'll take it.
Sal had to leap up for that, but it was way out of his reach there, and Long, as I said, that was a long pass, a long dart over there, but still an error.
Good grab, because if that would have got by him, we would have definitely got Posey to second, so great catch for him.
So Posey will reach yet again for Georgetown. And the pitch here to Wyatt Childress as he looks for the bunt. It goes off the back of the bat, bunt foul. The count 0-1 here on Wyatt Childress. Wyatt is 0 for 1. Reached on a walk, then an error to the third. Came around and scored the first run for Georgetown, then popped one up over to the second baseman back in the third.
It looked like Cole Bresco doesn't like that Posey's on first. He should have been out, so he's going at him a couple of times here, try to get him honest. Try to get him out at first.
Saying, listen up, Cowboy, I see you.
I see you. And Posey gets a good jump, too, good lead. He's a great base runner.
Pitch here to, wow, that would look close on Childress, but they called it a strike.
I got to give it to Bresco on that one. I mean, that one had some great movement and just came across the plate in time on that curveball.
Sound like some water turning on here at Nutrabolt Stadium. 0-2 here on Wyatt Childress.
Somebody's letting the air out of the stadium.
Well, you heard of snakes on a plane. We
Yeah.
got snakes in a stadium.
Snakes.
Swing and a miss here for the second out, though.
Yeah. Resco's dialed in. He's throwing some great pitches, and we're going to have to pay attention here and get that metal on that ball.
Oh, you know what it is? It's actually a gentleman's oxygen tank down there that's leaking air. I hope they can get that fixed.
Wonder if he knows that he's pulled.
Oh, yeah, he's trying to get it fixed.
Okay, there we go.
Hopefully somebody who knows how to fix that will go down there and help him out.
Well, quick 2 outs here in the bottom of this 4th inning. It's not the way we wanted for this to go, but we still got a little life here. We got Moore up there, men on first, so let's see what we can do here. We like 2 outs, like you said.
Base runner on 1 is Cole Posey. Cole Moore at bat now for Georgetown. Cole Moore is 1 for 2, and they got the air stopped there, I believe, for the time being. Swing and a miss here, though, for Cole Moore, 0-1.
Yeah, Moore took a big, big hack at that one. He wanted that one. Got I heard a little piece of it, but I want to get a lot more than that.
I think they exchanged the tank there for that gentleman and took the one that was leaking out of here, so luckily he's got another tank down there. My heart always goes out to folks that, you know, those oxygen tanks, a lot of them, you got to carry them around, and but it allows them to still be able to get out and enjoy things that you normally wouldn't be able to. So I'm glad they were able to help that gentleman out down there.
Absolutely. Be able to come watch their grandsons play.
0-1 delivery. Georgetown, Cole Posey tried to steal it to second, but that ball was hit foul, and the count now at 0-2 on 2 outs. Again, Georgetown leads 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning in Bryan, Texas, here in this regional semifinal playoff. Thanks for joining us, Rob Hipp with Joshua Harris.
Thanks for being with us, boy. Tell you what, he took a big rip at that one and did exactly what a left-handed batter wants to do, get it down that right field line. He straightens that out a little bit, and we definitely got a man on third.
Oh, 2 pitch. This one popped way up into the air, and the third baseman thinks he's going to be able to grab it in front of Coach Foster, and he does for the 3rd out. So a tough break there for Georgetown as Matt King able to grab that one there for the 3rd out. In this inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 error. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. That moves us to the top of the 5th inning. Josh, I'll send it over to you to thank more of our wonderful sponsors.
Absolutely. Let's keep these going tonight. Texas Traditions Roofing coming on board again this week. Wes Strawn and Mike Pickle over there at Texas Traditions Roofing. They specialize in commercial and residential roofing repair and also full replacement. Texas Traditions Roofing is online at texastraditionsroofing.com. Coming in again this week is Gateway Mortgage Group. Matt Morrow doing great work in Georgetown and surrounding, a home mortgage lender who believes in these 3 things: the community, family, and new homes. Gateway Mortgage Group is online at borrowfrommorrow.com. Coming in also again this week is Program Insurance Group. Doug Groves. Program Insurance Group supports Georgetown Eagle baseball. Business insurance is their specialty. Their website is pigbcs.com. You heard it right, pigbcs.com. And if I just want to make a statement here, because Rob will teach me new things. If I say your name wrong, I apologize. I'm going to get it fixed. And I'll get to the rest of these here in a little bit, Rob.
No problem. We appreciate all of the folks helping make these possible. Yeah, Wes Strahan and my
Strahan. What am I saying, Han?
Strawn.
Strawn. Oh.
He is. It sounds like strong, and he is a strong guy. He used to be the soccer coach at Georgetown.
Wes, please forgive me, sir.
Hey, I know Wes from church back in the day, and also the soccer. I didn't play soccer.
Oh, well, Wes got a forgiving heart then, Wes. Yeah. Thank you for your forgiveness.
It's already coming early. Bryson Jackson leading off here on an 0-1 pitch. This one goes straight up into the air. And talking things over, and Jeffrey David from third base will make the grab on the fly 5 for the first out. That's the way Georgetown needs to start here. Not allow anybody to get on. You don't want to give Kingwood Park any glimpses of a hope here.
That's right. We want to go up 1-0 in this series and get this first game under us, and then, so get these guys to pop up, ground out, strike out. No hits here in the top of this 5th inning.
That'll bring up third of the order, the first baseman, number 10, Clay Sowell. Right-handed batter, the right-handed pitch. That one a strike as he looked at it. Beautiful pitching by Grayson Smith.
That's the pitch you want to throw when they're looking. They're taking that first pitch. Fire one in there and make them think twice about it next time.
Next one here across the plate for a strike.
Well, I tell you what, from that first inning, Rob, Grayson Smith has just settled in and is just pitching a really, really pretty ball game tonight.
0-1 the count here. Pitch on the way. This one popped up into the air for a foul behind us, 0-2.
Thought we were going to get that loud bang on that one. Well, when it hits the top of this hangover here, is it hangover or overhang? I'm in the recovery world when I call it overhang a hangover, but when it hits it is loud up here above us.
Next pitch too far outside, and the count now at 1-2. One, two, the pitch here, 1 out. Grayson Smith on the mound for Georgetown. Kicks up the right-handed delivery. This one popped up into the air. Georgetown should get it in foul territory. Chasing it down is the second baseman, Luke Seaback. And Seaback says, I got your back.
Seaback came all the way over from second and called off the right fielder, called off the first baseman and said, I got this one, gentlemen.
2 up, 2 down. That will bring up fourth in the order, cleaning up the catcher, number 5, Chase Ferrum.
2 pop-ups, 2 outs. That's the way we like it.
Chase Ferrum, a right-handed batter for Kingwood Park. This young man, he skipped under our radar. He is also 2 for 2. Had a double back in the first and then a single in the third. Left stranded, though, on both of those. The pitch here, however, a strike as he looked at it. 0-1.
Yeah, Ferrum having a good night tonight so far. We'd like to not further that at this at-bat.
Swing and a miss here, 0-2.
Good cut. Good pitch.
To the count here. Georgetown 1 out away from getting back to offense here. In the top of the 5th, they are leading 3-2. This pitch dropped in for a strike as he looked at it. 3 up, 3 down. Georgetown coming alive.
Grayson Smith just dropped a beautiful pitch in there to close this inning out. And boy, I tell you what, I am really impressed the way Grayson Smith has pitched this last couple of innings. Great job.
We'll step aside. Bottom of the 5th. Upcoming Georgetown Eagle baseball continues after this. Back in action here from Nutrabolt Stadium. Rob Hipp with my good friend Joshua Harris. Joshua, man, this has been a great one now as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off is Ryan Knight, who has been cooking the steaks all night long here for the Georgetown Eagles.
Ryan would love to get this inning going, get some more runs on the board. Like I said, you never know in these playoffs, one inning can make all the difference in the world. So we'd like to go up another, 3 or 4 runs to really, like you said, get that cushion in there and leave tonight on a Thursday night up 1 game in this series.
Well, Ryan Knight, he is perfect tonight, 2 for 2. The pitch on the way tonight, pops this one up though, and that one should be catchable in the right field near the right power alley, and it is by the right fielder, Tommy Ivy. 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Kingwood Park Panthers.
A little continuation of what we had in that last at bat for them and popping it up. So we need to get these balls straightened out and get some base hits going here.
Bring up 5th in the order, the third baseman, number 7, Jeffrey David. Jeffrey also having a good solid game here for Georgetown. Bresco with the right-handed delivery, the right-handed batter, too low for a ball, 1-0. Next pitch on the way, and that one called a ball as well. 2-0 here for Jeffrey David.
Hey, we want to thank all of our listeners that are checking us out tonight and supporting playoff baseball. You can always text in if you've got just something you want to say hello or do a shout out for Rob to announce or anything like that. Just want to thank you for that. Text line is 512-522-9105. That's 512-522-9105. Love to hear from you.
On the 2-1 pitch, the last one was a strike as he swung. That one goes foul to even the count at 2-2. Yeah, we always enjoy those shout-outs and folks listening in. Again, if you're listening on the radio and driving, don't text and drive.
Don't text and drive.
That's our PSA.
That is absolutely 100% first and foremost.
2-2 pitch. Got him looking for the second out.
Matter of fact, when Rob was on his way up here, he had a little Facebook Live going, not driving and texting. I was actually, just so you know, when I was texting you stuff, I was stopped at Sonic at a place getting something to drink.
There you go,
and so I wasn't texting and driving either, just so you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, 2 quick outs here for Georgetown. That is going to bring up the designated hitter. 6 in the order, number 12, Jackson Ciosa. Little action, Jackson. He needs to get some action here for Georgetown as that pitch is going to go for a strike as he looked at it. Now, you talk about the action. He had it in that third inning for Georgetown. He had the hit, the single, but then was left stranded at second base in the third.
Had a great hit, and so he'd like to step up and do that again here.
0-1 the count. The next one, he looks at it again, 0-2.
Yeah, that's not like him. Action doesn't like to just sit back and not have action happen. So he needs to, he's ready now to not take another pitch like that. I got a feeling he's not going to let that pitcher get away with another one like that.
0-2, 2 outs. Georgetown leads 3-2. Pitch on the way. This one hit and to the turf. The artificial field. Beautiful field here at Nutrabolt. Off the first baseline, it goes foul. The count remains 0-2.
Super fast field here at Nutrabolt. This thing is just great field, great shape, and that ball moves on that turf.
We talk about a Georgetown Eagle team that finished this season in the TexasHighSchoolBaseball.com poll at number 4. The Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association poll has them in the top 5. This is a base hit over to right field by Action Jackson.
Action Jackson said, here we go. Let's get this thing going with 2 outs because we like to show off a little bit at 2 outs.
Well, the 6th hit now for the Georgetown Eagles. They're hitting the balls tonight. That'll bring up Hunter Savarese, who also had a hit for Georgetown as part of that powerful 4-hit third inning. Although they were only able to bring in 2 runs on that, they'd like a couple here. Again, we talk about the 2 outs. Georgetown in it right now with the base runner on 1 in 2-out territory.
Interesting to see here how Bresco pitches to Savarese and knowing the kind of bat swing he's got and what he's capable of doing.
1-0 count here. The next pitch, this one hit into foul territory, way off. into right field. 1-1 the count.
Savarese with a big cut there, driving that way out over the right field bleachers, foul territory. Pinch runner coming in, Rob. Number 2's coming in.
Yeah, we normally see Jared Ross out there. This is going to be another runner here for Georgetown. And this will be Jared Pierce. We've seen Pierce come in quite a bit this season, so Jared Pierce will pinch run for Jackson Seosin.
Jared Pierce got some legs on him and can really move. So if Savarese here can get a good cut on it, we've got some more life coming in. Hopefully get another run or two across before we get out of this inning.
1-1 even count. Base runner on one is Pierce. This one going to hit, and that is a base hit. Wow, he placed it right into right field, but Pierce is going to try to go to third, and boy, he is going to be tagged out.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate break there for Kingwood Park, but man, Georgetown, he should have stayed at second. He got a little ahead of himself, and Foster not happy with that play.
He did, and Pierce doesn't usually do that. He's a great base runner, but that's kind of that play we saw last week that won it for us. At second, that runner that was on first came around to second and then kept on going and hesitated just a second, didn't go back, and boy, that worked in our favor last week as that literally was the game-winning out at third, and so kind of nothing like last week's winning play, but same kind of scenario played out there. You hesitate, boy, and bad things can happen.
Well, through that inning, unfortunately for Georgetown, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody really left on for the Eagles. Still a little too close for comfort if you're a Georgetown fan. If you're a Kingwood Park fan, we welcome you into the broadcast as well. Thanks for joining us here. But you're happy only trailing by 1 against a very competitive Georgetown Eagle team. But Kingwood Park, this is a team that's no walk in the park either. These guys, 17 wins in a row. They come in here. All of their playoff series have been 2-game victories. They have won all of their playoff games, obviously, as they're on a 17-game winning streak. And in 15 of those 17 games, they only allowed 1 run. That is an unbelievable statistic for this very powerful and well-coached by Bruce Cox Kingwood Panther team.
You bet. Kingwood Park giving us a great game tonight. And if this is any indication how this series is going to go, this is going to be earned by those who play the smartest and play the hardest. So that's like Rob said, I want to thank Kingwood Park and all the fans and all the supporters for Kingwood Park for giving us a great ball game tonight.
Well, leading off for Kingwood Park will be 5th in the order, the shortstop, number 25, Ryan Long. He was out for the first out on a 5-3 in the first. As the first pitch to him, right into Copo. The shortstop over to first base. A little Copo to Como, my bro.
Yes, great dig out of the ground there. Hard hit ball, and just played it perfectly. Got it to first for that first out to start this inning.
That's how Grayson Smith likes it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Checking back with Jake Nash behind us, keeping the pitch count. Grayson Smith at 77, now 78 pitches, and that 78 pitch is going to go for a strike here on Tommy Ivy.
Great pitch there to start this bat.
Talk about the UIL rule is you can't go over 110, and Grayson Smith has every inkling to go all the way.
He'll do it too. If he pitches well, they'll leave him in there and just let him finish this game out. We can keep this lead.
The 0-1 too far outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike we are. Again, top of the 6th, 1 out. Georgetown holding on to that 1-run lead, 3-2. We've been runless, though, here in the last 2 innings for both teams. Smith on the mound. The right-handed pitch to the right-handed batter. Too far outside, and a batter's count now at 2-1.
Childress there steps out in front of the base, the home plate, and just kind of encourages him a little bit. I like they have such great unity. You can watch them, and they're really in sync with each other, pitcher catcher. It's fun to watch. He knows when to come out and encourage him.
Time called here as the batter Tommy Ivy steps out of that right-handed batter's box, now back into it. Stands with that right foot down in the lower right corner of the right batter's box. Again, Grayson with the right foot on the right of the rubber. Pitch, hit, over, foul. Colmore able to snag it in foul territory for the second out. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, just a blooper over there by first base, and no problem getting over there and making that soft catch.
I like that, a blooper. I like that, Josh. So you're teaching me, man.
Just trying to show you a little something every once in a while, as you teach me tons and tons during this last few weeks. Been great.
I'll tell you, I've been blessed. Guys like Mike Capps, the Round Rock Express, Bill Schoening from the Spurs, those guys pouring life in to me over the years teaching. And this one is going to be a little chop shot over, and that will be a base hit. It's one of those crazy ones.
Crazy knuckleballer coming off the bat, and there was just nothing to really complain about there. It was just a great little hit, and no error there for sure. Just took a crazy bounce too. And,
yeah, it was one of those that got a little weird aerodynamics on it as Jeffrey David tried to get it, Cole Posey tried to get it. None of them could get there as it just kind of sunk right in the middle between them there at left field on the infield.
One of those balls that looked like it almost kind of goes flat a little bit as it bounces, and it's just crazy looking. And, just great little blooper hit. There it is again.
The old blooper. Bring up 8th in the order, the designated hitter, number 8, Kyle Stasny. He is 0 for 1, reached on a walk, left stranded at third.
Great catch by Chandler.
And he was out on a 1-3.
Great catch there by Chandler as he has to reach out way outside the box and catch that one. So no harm, no foul on first base, getting over to second. He comes back, comes out to the mound and says, hey, let's settle in. You're doing great. Settle in.
Yeah, Childress, boy, if that one would have got out of, it was far over. He was able to get on it, but you talk about if that ball gets away from him, now you've got a runner over at second. Maybe, but Childress, again, is so fast with that arm, that could have been an out for Georgetown.
True, too, because you've got this great wall that with great bounce back that some of these stadiums have, and we're lucky to have it at Georgetown. And so,
well, we know what happened with that wall last week in the third game. There is Reese Grimes on the crazy wild pitch play over to David for the third.
Oh, that's right.
And for the out, and for the game win.
So much love on the bottom of that wall sometimes.
1-0 here, this one. Hit foul off the bat over us. 1-1 even count. Yeah, I was just thinking if Cole over there earlier smacked that one foul.
Smacked that one foul straight into the net.
We will never say that. 1-1. Pitch goes foul over to right field and bring the count to 1-2. That was a hard hit, but foul territory, thankfully.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball down that right field line and just about 5 feet foul. Thank goodness for the Georgetown Eagles. No 8 would like to straighten that out and get this runner around, but Georgetown Eagle fans absolutely doesn't want that to happen.
We'll get to those shout-outs here in a few moments, as I know we've had quite a few of them come in. We appreciate everybody there on the SHN text line at 512-522-9105. Left-handed batter Stasny at a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, and he calls time right at the last moment before Grayson Smith pitched that one. Good thing he did, because that would have been a ball. The 1-2 pitch rounds this one over. Grayson Smith on a little 1-3 action to first base to Colmore for the putout. And Georgetown, once again, not allowing those base runners to come in. No runs on one hit, no errors. They leave one on base. We are through 5.5. Bottom of the 6th upcoming. Georgetown leads 3-2. Josh, I'll send it over to you, partner.
Yeah, let's continue with our sponsors for this game. Gateway Mortgage Group, Matt Morrow. Gateway Mortgage Group is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle baseball. Home mortgage lender who believes it's all about communities, families, homes. Gateway Mortgage Group is online at borrowformorrow.com.
And quickly here, wanted to remind folks, don't miss the UIL Baseball State Tournament, June 6th through the 9th. For more information, visit uiltexas.com. SEMIFINAL.org. Josh?
Absolutely. Program Insurance Group also supporting this game. Doug Groves. Program Insurance Group supports Georgetown Eagle baseball. Business insurance is their specialty. Their website is pigbcs.com. Also, Ty Gibson at Minuteman Press Georgetown. Minuteman Press Georgetown specializes in direct mail, promotional products, brochures, business cards, and more. Their website is mmptx.com. I'd like to thank Trey White, Coach Trey White at White Shadow Basketball. White Shadow Basketball helps give the player the opportunity to gain the tools that he or she needs to reach and exceed their basketball goals. Emphasis on developmental shooting, one-on-one skills, and ball handling. White Shadow Basketball is online at facebook.com/White Basketball. Rob?
Leading off here, Joshua, as always, thank you. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading off for Georgetown, number 17, Noah Thompson. Noah is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, left stranded at second in the second for the third out, and then struck out swinging in the third for the third out. So no third out opportunity here. He's in a 1-0 count to lead things off for Georgetown. Next pitch on the way. Called a ball as well. 2-0.
Georgetown really, really needs to get, like you said, some cushion here, so let's get some base hits, get some men on these bases running and getting some runs across here as we head into the back end of this ball game. We've got a 1-run lead, but like you said, that is not too comfortable.
2-1, called a strike. Pitch on the way, swung and foul tipped that one. 2-2. Two pitch. This one hit foul into the back of the net. The count remains 2-2. Got a text message earlier, I believe, from Julia Engelman. We appreciate you, Julia. She said that Kingwood and Santa Fe were both scouting us last Friday. They sat behind them, so they were out there scouting Georgetown. You figured if they get a chance, they will.
Yep.
Next pitch on the way as he looks at it for a ball. 3-2. Jared Pierce's grandparents out on the Concan, Texas, on the Frio, shouting out. We appreciate the Pierce family. Jared in there pinch running a while ago. Here on the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Got him for the first out, Noah Thompson.
Thompson really came hard at that last pitch there, but boy, I tell you what, Bresco pitching well in that at bat and got him swinging.
If you're watching there on the YouTube live stream that has the scoreboard, this will be Logan Drake will pinch it here for Georgetown in place of Luke Seebeck. I had the base runner on first. That wasn't correct, so beg your pardon on that. Georgetown leads 3-2 here. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out we are. Logan Drake at one point this season over 500 as he had a streak there. He was on fire, and that's how he got the nickname, the hitting sensation for the Georgetown Eagles.
Yeah, Logan Drake, good ball player and can really make something happen here.
Left-handed hitter looks at this one for a ball, 1-0.
You know, thinking about the Pierce family, like you said, they think they've sent us a greeting and a hello and a shout-out every game that we've done together, and so thank you to them and out there on the Frio, because I always remember when you say that they're out there on the Frio.
Logan Drake in his 31st game now. He averages .373, but a swing and a miss here for a 1-1 count. Continuing on with his stats here, on-base percentage of .426, slugs .398. He's singled 29 times, doubled 7 times. He's got 20 RBIs, 25 runs for Georgetown. He's reached on a walk 13 times, and he struck out 14. Next pitch, a ball, 2-1. Logan ahead in the count here. Still got his options. The right-handed pitch. As that one looks at it for a strike from Daniel Bresco.
Yeah. Drake wanted that one. Wants that one back. He wants another pitch like that. He even stepped out and said, man, why didn't I get that one?
Again, thanks for joining us here on SHN Sports. With us, you're not going to pay for the broadcast, so we appreciate everybody joining us out there.
Thank you very, very much.
Hit off the bat foul. The count remains 2-2. As always, our Carl and I, when we started SHN, we wanted to make sure that we always, as much as possible, keep the broadcast as affordable for the programs and free to the community. That's very important to us. On a 2-2, this one hit over to the shortstop, Ryan Long, and another error on Long as Logan Drake reached first on an error. That is the second time by Ryan Long that he has thrown it out of the reach of Clay Sowell there at first. So Drake will sit at first on an E6.
Pinch runner coming in, Rob, for Drake. It's number 8.
That's Luke Seaback coming back in now.
Yeah, your shortstop there has, for the Panthers, has thrown that one, sailed way high. No chance for the first baseman to jump. High as he jumped, he couldn't get that one, and so shortstop struggling a little bit with those throws to first. Posey, top of the order here, would like to bring this man around and get him in scoring position. Put another run on the board.
Well, Cole Posey reached on an error. That same one by Ryan Long back in the 4th. That pitch looked close inside, but the home plate umpire, Richard Brenniger, going to call that one a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, he likes those. He's been calling those right on that line all night, so we've got to start making the swings at those.
Bottom of the 6th, 1 out, 0-1 the count. Base runner on 1 is Logan Drake as the pinch runner. Tried to pick attempt there as Resco threw it over to Clay Sowell. Base runner safe. 3-2, Georgetown holding on to that marginal lead. Georgetown's got 6 hits in this ball game, or beg your pardon, 7 hits in this ball game. That one hit over the third base side in foul territory. 0-2 here for Copo.
Yeah, Copo with a really, really hard cut at that one. And, boy, I tell you, he's up there doing battle.
No, Cole's dad, Jake. Appreciate Jake. Always doing a lot of good things around the area. This one, though, a hit by pitch. Boy, that one, you heard it up here as it hit his knuckles.
Yeah, that's not any kind of acting right there. That one got him right on that hand, and we hope he's okay. Those kind of shots right there will break fingers all day long. He's taking that glove off to look at it right now.
Don't blame him.
Yeah.
A little bit of time taken here as Copo will rest at 1. I don't know much about resting, though, after
a shot like that.
Umpires are all going to come in and talk things over. We see the third base umpire, Gus Lalo. He comes in. The second base umpire, Kenny Smith. The first base umpire, John Wilson. And then, of course, behind home plate, Richard Brenniger. They all talk things over there between the mound and first base. Wonder what they're talking about. Wonder if they're talking about what they're going to eat after this game.
Hey, they got that good pancake house over here, don't they?
They always say, they sometimes they say instead of house, it's H-A-U-S, Haas.
Oh.
Pancake house, burger house. They got every house you could think of.
These country towns, yeah.
Wyatt Childress now at bat for Georgetown. Childress is 0 for 2. Reached on a walk, then an error over to third. Came around and scored the first run for Georgetown. Hit one over to second in the third, and then struck out swinging in the 4th. And a strike here. Georgetown going to try to steal to third. The runner will be tagged out by the third baseman. They will steal to second.
Yeah.
So Posey will steal over to second, but the stolen attempt there, or I beg your pardon, Posey's not the one. Posey is the one who was tagged out there at third. So
no,
yeah, it was Posey was at second, and Luke Seaback was at first. So Seaback was able to steal, but Cole Posey tagged as he was caught stealing there at third for the second out. So Luke Seaback at second. Oh, it is Cole Posey. You're
yeah,
right.
I'm never going to
sorry.
correct you as you teach me.
No.
Yeah, but Posey was the one that got hit in the hand, and I'm glad to see that he's
Thank
okay
you.
because
Yeah,
he was
I appreciate
really
that.
looking at it and twisting in, but he's still safe on second. So that was Seebeck that got called out at third.
Yeah.
And they just picked Posey off at second with a throwback from the pitcher.
So Posey was picked off, so your three batters all go 3 outs here.
Yeah, this is something you don't see much, that these runners, we've had such great base running and stealing this, especially during the playoffs here. Kingwood Park has definitely dialed in and done some damage to the running of the Eagles.
Well, Georgetown 3 outs away. And
you got your closer in.
Yeah, there is a closer now in there, so it's no longer Grayson Smith going for this close and the save here in this ball game. We'll have his information and more. We'll step aside and take a quick break. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues after this. Back in action here from Nutrabolt Stadium. Rob Hipp alongside Joshua Harris. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Georgetown Eagle Baseball. On the mound now with that submarine sidearm, Reese Grimes. Trying to close this one out and give Georgetown the win and the save.
Yeah, we watched Reese Grimes come in during these playoffs, these last 1 or 2 innings, and just do so well. And so let's hope on behalf of the Eagle fans and players that he comes in and gets these 3 strikes and we go up on top 1 game in this best of 3.
There's also another runner out there for Kingwood Park here to lead off. In the bottom of the order, it'll be number 12, Brett Jones. So Reese Grimes on the mound. Right-handed sidearm pitch it is, and well, that one looked close, but called a ball here 1-0 for Brett Jones.
Yeah, that was close. He just needs to bring that over just a little bit, and we're in business.
Reese Grimes, 23 innings pitched. This one hit foul off the first base, or back into the net, actually. He's played in 11 games, started one of those games. 2-1, or bigger, I'm looking at the wrong one, actually. He is 16 games. He hasn't started any of them here. He's 1-0, but you know how he played last week.
That's right. That's what they use him for.
An ERA of 1.522. The next pitch also hit foul off the bat, into the net, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Reese Grimes. That's what they like him for. Come in, get these outs, let's go home.
1-2 the count here, top of the 7th we are. Georgetown leads 3-2. This one a line over to Luke Seaback and a quick little nice second base to first base. Seaback to Colmore, telling Colmore, I got your back, buddy.
And that's what Grimes wanted right there. Get these hitters to hit right into quick outs. Take this home.
The 4-3 ground out for the first out. But we go back to the top of the order here. The second baseman, number 3, Matthew Burke, who is 2 for 3. Led off in the first with a hit, came around and scored. Had a hit, a single, and then left stranded at second in the second. That was out on that 6-3 back in the 4th. The first pitch on the way, called the ball here, 1-0. Time is going to be called here by Burke as he steps aside. The top of the lineup here for Kingwood Park, we've talked about it all night. a heavy hitting team. Holds that bat at 45 degrees over his shoulder. The pitch here on the way. Again, too far outside, 2-0.
All right, umpire's called a great game. He's not going to make this easy on Grimes, does it look like, because those last two pitches, boy, they were close. And that sidearm, that's the way he throws it, man, and he gets it across quick.
Reese Grimes, right-handed pitch. Again, too far outside, 3-0.
That one was outside.
.30 count here. Reese Grimes does not want to allow him on. That one a strike, 3-1.
Beautiful pitch there by Grimes.
Next pitch, too far, walked him. That is your tying run at first, and now your lead runner at home plate. Childress going to talk things over with Reese Grimes.
Number 1, the center fielder, Bryson Jackson.
That'll bring up the center fielder, number 1, second in the order, Bryson Jackson. He is 0 for 3, reached on an error, came around to score that second run in the first, then out on a 5-3 in the second, out on a pop-up to the third baseman in the fifth. There's really been no line drive outs here this afternoon or this evening.
Yeah, we've had pop-ups and, you know, on the grounders, and so man on first. Be interesting to see what Jackson does here. So Grimes goes back to first with it, keeping Burke honest at first. Like to see him hit into a double play here. That's what we want.
One out, Georgetown holding on to that 3-2 lead as they're trying to keep Bryson Jackson from knocking this one out. Jackson, in football, that young man is unbelievable. A TCU commit, the right-handed batter. Yeah, wearing that Baylor green helmet, baby.
He is an athlete.
Pitch on the way, chops this one over. It is going to go into the hands of Cole Posey, and got him out at second. Did they call him out?
Yes.
They say yes as he interfered. So that is an out there at second base as Cole Posey threw it over to Luke Seaback. So we'll call that a 6.
Manager's out. He's not happy with that call at second.
Well, for the time being, it's a 6-4 out there. That's where Burke was on first, so as he was running in there. And it will stand as an out. The fans not happy at Kingwood Park. The Georgetown fans happy. I think that's the right call, not just because we're broadcasting for Georgetown either, but that's the right call.
That's right. He did come. I did see he did come off that base, and that's when he got that tag in there. So it was a good call. I know that Kingwood Park is not happy about that, and it's not always easy to accept some calls, and we've had some tonight too. So that was a good call.
Coach Foster, a little straight grin there as he goes out and talks with the second base umpire, Kenny Smith. Foster heads back over here. 2 outs, base runner on 1 is your tying run out there, which is Bryson Jackson, who just reached on that fielder's choice. That'll bring up Clay Sowell, who is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, left stranded at third in the first. Out as he threw out to the first base, and then also popped one up over the second baseman. Pitch on the way, too far outside, 1-0.
In case you're just joining us, we are 1 out away of going ahead 1 game and making Kingwood have to beat us 2 more times to take this series, and that's a good thing.
Trying to pick there on the 1-3. The base runner is going to be safe. This one popped up into the air, chasing it down. They've got to communicate, and they do. Noah Thompson secures the victory for the Georgetown Eagles at right field. Georgetown wins in a close contest versus Kingwood Park, 3-2. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle co-players of the game in a few moments. Josh, I'll send it over to you, partner.
Yeah, once again, Grind did exactly what he has paid the big bucks to do, so to speak. He comes in, gets these last 3 outs, and the Georgetown Eagles, excitingly, as should be expected by the fans here, go up 1-0 and forcing the Kingwood Park Panthers to come and have to win 2, and Georgetown only has to win 1 more, and we are headed to the next round. And so good game by both teams. Thank you, Kingwood Park, for playing a great game tonight. Fans have been great, and I'm looking forward now to Rob going down and interviewing who he's chosen for his players of the game.
Yeah, I think if we look at it here, Josh, and also remember here on the 5-6, make sure that I kind of stick around right there whenever we get back in here in just a few moments. But
you got it.
You know, if we're looking at it here, if you want to look at players of the game, I'm going to go ahead and say it's co-players Grayson Smith and Ryan Knight.
Yeah, I think you go with that, and definitely Grayson Smith. I knew you were going to go with him. Another great game. Pitch started a little shaky, but, man, settled in and fired that ball in there in almost a complete game. So good on for him. And, Rob, what I'm going to do while you head down there is just go through our great sponsors one more time so we make sure we get them in for supporting us. So let's get going with it. Our presenting sponsor for this game, Cruising Kitchens and Cameron Davies. Cruising Kitchens is proud to support Georgetown Eagle baseball. Cruising Kitchen is a custom mobile business fabricator. Their builds range from the world's largest mobile kitchen to full entertainment trailers that include jumbotrons. Cruising Kitchen's website is cruisingkitchens.com. Also, the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Joshua Harris and staff would like to invite you to check out our website at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a nonprofit, faith-based Christian character building program geared towards men who are 18 and older and who are broken from substance abuse. You can find us with a phone call at 512-905-2111. We have 2 locations, one here, in Florence outside of Georgetown, and then also one down in the Houston area right around Conroe. And so if we have a bed and you have someone or yourself that wants help, please give us a call. We don't want you to spend one more day trapped in that bondage. Texas Traditions Roofing, Wes Strawn and Mike Pickle down there. Texas Traditions Roofing is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle baseball, commercial and residential roofing repair and replacement. Texas Traditions Roofing is online at texastraditionsroofing.com. Call Wes Strahan. Gateway Mortgage Group, Matt Morrow. Gateway Mortgage Group supports Eagle baseball. Matt is a home mortgage lender who believes it's all about communities, families, and homes. Gateway Mortgage Group is online at borrowfrommorrow.com. Also supporting this game tonight is Program Insurance Group and Doug Groves. Program Insurance Group supports Georgetown Eagle baseball. Business insurance is their specialty. Their website is P as in Paul, IGBCS.com. Minuteman Press Georgetown coming on. Ty Gibson, Minuteman Press in Georgetown specializes in direct mail, promotional products, brochures, business cards, and more. Their website is mmptx.com. Also joining us this week is White Shadow Basketball. Coach Trey White. White Shadow Basketball gives the player the opportunity to gain the tools that he or she needs to reach and exceed their basketball goals. Emphasis on developing shooting, one-on-one skills, and ball handling. White Shadow Basketball is online at facebook.com/White Basketball. And last but certainly not least, Stacy Cardwell at True Blue Bail Bond. True Blue Bail Bond in Georgetown is open 24 hours a day. They are located at 501 South Austin Avenue True Blue Bail Bond is online at truebluebailbond.com. Thank you to all of our supporters for Georgetown Eagle Baseball for tonight's game. We thank you, and God bless. Waiting on Rob now to get to the coach and also his players of the game, which will definitely include Grayson Smith, who came in and pitched 6 great innings, kept the Kingwood Park Panthers to 5 hits. Kingwood Panthers had 4 errors tonight and scored 2 runs. Now, we only scored 3 runs on 7 hits, and we had 2 errors, but that 1 run was enough to bring us the victory tonight. So we are excited as we go into Friday. Same time tomorrow night, first pitch here at Nutrabolt Stadium will be 7 p.m. And then Saturday, if needed, if Georgetown can come in and get another victory, of course, that will wrap it up and we won't need to play baseball on Saturday. But if it's needed, we'll come in on Saturday, another evening game, which will be nice and cool, and first pitch will be 7:30. So it's an exciting weekend of baseball continuing on, and we're excited to see what happens tomorrow night. But what a great game tonight. And give Kingwood Park Panthers their credit. They came in and played a good game and kept us from scoring a lot of runs and kept us, we did get 7 hits, but, a 3-2 score is a close ball game and very competitive. And so, boy, we're just proud of these Eagle Fight Never Die ball players for Georgetown. And I believe Rob's walking up with his players of the game right now. So as soon as he gives me the signal, I'm going to send it down to Rob. Rob, you're on, buddy.
Well, Rob Hipp down here on the field. Joshua has got me up there in the broadcast booth. Victory here for Georgetown. Down here with the SHN Sports co-player of the game, number 14, Grayson Smith. Grayson, 86 pitches. You throw for 6 innings. You only allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, 6 left on base. But I know struggling early, but, boy, you came back and really redeemed yourself in the play of the Georgetown Eagles. Talk about this victory. I know you guys made some mistakes, but tell us about how happy you are to get out of here with a 3-2 victory here in Game 1 of the regional semifinal.
It's always good coming out with a win, and I'm happy for my boys and myself. And it just took a lot of effort this game. We're ready to come back next game, hopefully make less mistakes and be ready.
Grayson, talk about the start there. Things struggling a little bit for you. What was going through your mind, and really what helped you get back on the composure?
It was kind of a eye-opener because I've had rocky starts not too long ago, and I was just like, all right, I can't fold in right here. I got to come back. I got to be ready. I got to throw my pitches, hit my spots. So that really helped, just keeping a stable mind and getting ready to pitch.
Grayson, you come back in here tomorrow now at Nutrabolt. This is almost kind of feeling like home away from home now. What's it like playing here at Bryan on this all-turf field?
It's super nice. It's nice having this concrete back over here, everyone in the crowd. I mean, it's an overall nice stadium.
Well, finally, before we let you go here, Grayson Smith, Georgetown Eagle pitcher, co-player of the game, who do you want to send a shout-out to tonight?
My mom, dad, girlfriend Suze, and my homie Catcher Wyatt.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you, Grayson Smith. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow now as we welcome number 6, Ryan Knights. Ryan, you go 2 for 3, man, but those 2 of the 2 for 3, both of those were doubles. Standing up, you scored 1 run yourself. We always like to say cooking the steaks, man. You got the grill going early on those ribeyes tonight, man. Talk about how happy you guys are coming out of here with a victory against a very good team that came into this game winning on a 17-game streak.
Usually this first game is a real momentum builder for the next game, but we can't relax. You know what I mean? Sometimes teams will relax on the second game if they win the first game of the series, and sometimes they'll get beat, and that's like it's not a good idea.
So I know you guys coming off of a very exciting Game 3 victory with Reese Grimes on the mound there versus another quality opponent. Do you think that maybe just some of the jitters were still there to start things off, and then you guys found your composure?
Yeah, Grayson had a little hiccup in the first inning, but he came back out and just kind of carried us through the game. He carried us.
We'll talk about now you end the winning streak of a very good team here tonight, but I know y'all don't care much about streaks. You care about victories. Talk about how proud you are right now here in the regional semifinal to go up 1-0.
I mean, it's great getting to play with these guys. I mean, I love them. They're my brothers. It's great.
Awesome. Well, finally, who do you want to send a shout-out to before we let you go, young man?
My mom, my dad, and my sister, my brother, and all the fans that come out to support us.
Awesome. Well, I got to tell you, man, I had a chance to sit down and talk with your grandpa for quite some time. So a third-generation Knights here on the field. I know your grandpa's proud to see you play, young man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Ryan Knights down here on the field, our SHN Sports co-player of the game. Appreciate you, Ryan. As we now speak things over here with head coach Adam Foster. Coach, you come out of here victorious 4-3, or 3-2, beg your pardon, a scathing victory. But Grayson Smith started out a little rocky. At that point, what do you tell your team whenever you're trying to really get over the jitters and get into this ball game?
We don't really say much. Just do what we do. We didn't have exceptionally great at bats tonight, except for Ryan Knights, but he actually clutched up and really helped bail us out there tonight. Grayson coming back after the bad first inning, obviously a little different than he was 2 weeks ago when he had a bad first inning. We decided to stick it out, and he showed some guts and got out of that inning with very minimal damage, and that was big time.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. He goes 6 innings, he allows 2 runs, 5 hits, 6 left on base, but through 86 pitches, boy, after that first inning, he really got things going. Coach, talk about how satisfied you are right now with the Georgetown Eagles as you head into Game 2. I know tonight, struggling, you've got to get more base running. Talk about some things. I know there may be some dissatisfaction. What are some of the things that you guys have to improve on tomorrow night?
Man, we just got to be I don't really know how to answer that. You know what? I'm just going to coach better. Okay, I'm going to coach better. We made some mental errors tonight, and it's really not acceptable, and we're going to get it coached up. We'll get it fixed for tomorrow.
Awesome, Coach. Well, finally here, I know that you got to go out and scout this team in the last series. Talk about what are some of the things that you look for as a coach? I know it's kind of a question you're saying, Rob, why you asked me this, but what do you look for in a team when you go out and scouting, and what were some of the things that you were concerned about coming in against this team that, let's be honest, a 17-game winning streak, 15 of those 17 games, they only allowed 1 run. But tonight, you guys put an end to that. Talk about some things you were looking out for tonight that you felt like y'all did a good job on.
Man, I'll tell you, when I went and watched them, I kind of saw us. No real superstars. They pound the strike zone with 3 or multiple pitches. They played solid defense. It broke down a little tonight, but they usually play solid defense, and they've had timely hitting. So I really saw a lot of us in them, and not a whole lot to take advantage of. It was just going to be the team that made the least amount of mistakes, was what I thought.
Coach, did y'all finally find the keys to the batter's box and also the curveball bats?
You'd have to ask Stacy if she ever found those.
All right, that's a joke from KVU for the radio listeners out there that don't know what we're talking about. But Adam Foster, we appreciate you, partner. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Once again, Coach Adam Foster doing a great job, as always, with the kids here. And, even in a victory, there's always things, Joshua, that these kids can be taught. And that's one thing that Coach Foster, you'll talk to him. He's brutally honest. He said, look, we got the victory, but it's a victory that we're really not happy with tonight. It's some things that we've got to improve on, the base running and all that. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Josh, I'll send it back up to you as I make my way back up there for final thoughts.
Great job, Rob. And, boy, I tell you what, the coach said it. He said, you know what? We got the victory. It wasn't the game that we wanted. We didn't get the hits that we wanted, and thank goodness for a couple of key players that got some hits in, and we got the victory. But I also liked what he talked about as far as when he scouted out this Kingwood team. He said, I saw us. We played very similar. And I think we saw that tonight in this ball game where it was pretty even. The score wasn't high on either side, 3-2, great pitching. Grayson Smith, pitch a better game. I mean, all love to the Kingwood Park team, but Grayson Smith pitched a better game. He settled in after that first inning and got the job done. But this team is well balanced, or both of these teams are evenly matched and well balanced. And so I think we're in for another great Game 2 tomorrow at 7 p.m. first pitch. And then, if Georgetown can pull out another victory, then we're on our way, and we're all happy, and Eagle fight never dies. But you may just see this series. I don't want it to, because I'm an Eagle guy, but it may go into that Game 3 on Saturday, and this is going to be a good series here. So love what the coach had to say, and Rob always does a great job interviewing these players. And, just like Grayson Smith said, he said, you know what? He said, I struggled in that first inning. It's not the first time. It's happened to me before. I've got to just get mentally tough, settle myself down, find my strike zone, find my angles, and I'll make it happen. And that's what happened again tonight. So great game all around. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night's game, first pitch, 7 p.m. Rob's back up here. Great job, Rob.
Hey, the kids do all the work, man, the coaching staff here at Georgetown. But the final thing that matters is the score. 3-2 is the final here tonight. As we break down those final numbers here for Georgetown, the designated home team, they scored 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors by Georgetown. The designated visiting team, the Kingwood Park Panthers, they scored 2 runs on 5 hits. I beg your pardon, yeah, 2 runs on 5 hits and 4 errors. And dude, NSYNC was playing on my way up here. I thought it would give me some energy, man,
I thought
but I'm out of breath, bro.
I thought, you're acting like it was those stairs that got you, but I saw you busting a little move over there. And so when your band comes on, I get it, Rob. I get it. It's okay. Nobody's going to judge you on those dance moves that I just saw coming off that NSYNC song. So great job.
Well, speaking, as we send a shout out to Pastor Joe Champion while we go over to celebrate. I was running back up here and I glanced over and I thought I saw his wife, and then I looked again and it was, and I didn't get to say hi to her. So
here.
Shout out to Miss Lori as well. And
absolutely.
Jackson's always here. That's a great young man down there on the field. He doesn't play, but I'll tell you what, he plays as the fan and the guy who just brings all the spirit to Georgetown. So we appreciate it.
What a great family. That's the bottom line.
So again, your final here, Georgetown victorious in this opening game 1 of the regional semifinal playoff. This is a Kingwood Park team that wants to come back in here tomorrow night and force a game 3. As you heard from Coach Foster, they've got a lot of things to work on to improve, but we'll see. Georgetown always responds, even in a victory.
That's right.
As they break a 17-game winning streak of Kingwood Park.
Hey, that's big news right there,
Huge news. Well, Joshua, real quick, any final thoughts from you as we sign off here this evening?
No, Rob, I had an opportunity while you were going down and waiting on the players and the coach to go through our great sponsors one more time. And so, boy, I tell you what, I want everybody to drive safe. If you're staying here in town, then have a great night's rest. If you're going home, drive safe like I am. And we will see you tomorrow for more Georgetown Eagle baseball as this team continues its quest to get to that tournament and win a state championship and bring that home to Georgetown. God bless you and have a great night.
Well, again, we appreciate all of our radio listeners out there on 106.7 FM, KGT and LP Georgetown. As always, a special shout-out to the Brazos Valley Bombers here at Travis Park, Nutrabolt Stadium. I want to give a special thanks to Richard Zane, the public address announcer here tonight, as well as head coach Brian Nelson of the Brazos Valley Bombers. Special thank you to Jack Nash on his first year here, and Cole Winkler also providing some information throughout the broadcast, specifically telling us don't say smacked the ball, which we don't.
Or don't smack it or smash it into this net, okay?
That's right.
You can drive it into the net. You can slap it into the net, but don't smash it or smack it into this backdrop here.
Well, again, your happy final score here from Bryan, Texas. Georgetown wins 3-2. They'll play another game here, and if they can win, it'll be over and we go to the regional final. If not, we'll force a game 3 on Saturday. Remember, friends, as I like to say, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, so provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support, especially tonight.
Eagle fight never dies.
We'll see you next time. Hey, you forgot. I always say, on behalf of Joshua Harris, I'm Rob Hipp. Good night from Bryan, Texas.
Eagle fight never dies.